And we are live on another edition of All In on NJIC Football. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Great performance by my Broncos last night. Bo Nix looked like the Bo Nix we all know. The defense did whatever. I mean, listen, should be 4-0, but we'll get to that. So we'll take it, but a great performance. And you know what else? Thursday, a little preseason, our New York Knicks are playing.
No.
But we're not talking that tonight.
Nope.
We have an agenda beyond an agenda. I am so fired up for this show tonight. Look at these notes.
I know.
Look at these notes. I got notes all over the place tonight.
It's a lot. It's I know I do this every week, but I really need to thank the coaches, for coordinating with us, and we're definitely gonna exceed our hour tonight. Be ready for 2 hours. We got a lot, so we're gonna highlight all of the divisional. We got 4 games of the week that we're gonna do, so it's a little different. We're gonna bring in the coaches and players from all 4 matchups, so 8 teams total we have joining us. We have a little super sophomore segment we're throwing in. It's about that class. That's like a really strong class. We got our usual stat leaders, and of course we'll end the evening with our picks. So we got a lot to go through, but before we dive into it, let's just give a shout out to our sponsors, right?
One of our sponsors is our first commenter tonight, and that's Patrick Wiltsey. Aloha, Kurt and Jen. Aloha, coaches, saying live from Hawaii.
Oh, thank you, Patrick, again for hooking up our guests and sending them free coffee, and for us as well.
He's one of our sponsors.
While he's doing that, I'm just going to throw up here really quickly. If anybody is interested in ordering coffee, you can go to lioncoffee.com. This is the discount code Patrick has done for our viewers and their families. Patrick 10 will get you 10% off. I'll leave that up for a moment. The rest of our sponsors: Red Restaurant and Beer Garden, the Roosevelt, Puppies and Tattoo. I'll get back to them in a moment. Villa Italia in Lyndhurst. And I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. Am I there?
Nope.
No. So really quickly, Puppies and Tattoos. I'm wearing their shirt tonight. They are donating proceeds from these t-shirt sales to dog shelters to help dogs in need of finding homes. Those shelters are often in need of a lot of.
So we grabbed our shirts. I went on the weekend, grabbed our shirts. Yep. They're nice, little pink. Yep, I mean, I'll even rock the pink.
Yep. So you got one for each of us. So just a little heads up about that. They do sponsor our Top Dog segment, and those Top Dog Player of the Week recipients will also receive a coupon from Charles, the owners of Puppy and Tattoo. He has locations in North Arlington, Fairlawn, Montclair, and even a mobile dog grooming service. Our Bo does get groomed there.
Yes, he does.
Phenomenal.
Yes, he does.
And they take good care of him. That's the bigger part.
That's the bigger one. And one more thing, Jen, everyone who's either watching on Facebook tonight, YouTube, X, whatchamacallit? I can't think of the word.
Instagram. I mean, sorry, X, Twitter.
Right, but I'm saying, subscribe, because we are going to be more and more now coming out with a little, with these big games coming on, a little update here, update there. So make sure you'll get it. Subscribe, you get the alerts and notifications. Again, even though we do our show, we will be, breaking in, a little news here and there. But I am just, Jen, this show tonight, I have been so fired up for a week like this. And
well, you know what? You've always said how much you love how the NJIC plays to a true champion within their divisions. And this week is just kind of like the culmination of all of that. So, but before we get to our week 5 matchups, all of our games, but of course the 4 division, what is tending to look like the division championships, right? Why don't we do a little week 4 recap? You have your little around the NJIC.
I do. Let's start. Give me your most dominant team last week.
You know what? Whenever you talk about this, it's really like how do you define dominance, right? And we had a lot of shutouts. We had a lot of like lopsided victories, maybe. And you could definitely say those were done. We had a couple of shootouts on there. The Waldwick-Pompton game, right? 42-35. You could say Waldwick was dominant offensively. But you know what? I'm going with Rutherford, because you know what they dominated? The clock. And when they dominated the clock in that game, that was the difference maker in enabling them to win that game. So I'm going with Rutherford.
Listen, I would say I'm not going to say a team. Like, I would agree with you. I would just say to be a 3-0 game which surprised me with those 2 offenses and stuff.
Well, that's different. That's not a surprise. We're talking about dominant.
No, I'm sorry. Dominant. You know what? My dominant's going to be Butler. We talked about Butler. going into Sea Caucus, at Sea Caucus. We'll talk about, and Coach, we'll deal with Coach Luciani later. You know, they didn't play their best game to start the year, but they showed we're Butler in a dominant win. So I'm going to say Butler. I'll start with my surprise since I kind of gave it away from you. But I'm just shocked that game was 3-0, right? Because you would think two prolific offenses, a lot of weapons, and it's only 3-0. Listen, I love the game. There was a lot of running, a lot of defense and stuff like that.
But we looked up and we're like, oh my gosh, it's halftime already. Yeah, I think 40 minutes had gone by.
But you know, Jen, I'm going to go Park Ridge. You know, after their opening loss to Garfield, 13-6, now they've rattled off 3 wins in a row. They went into into Bogota, who, listen, Bogota was probably a yard or two away from beating St. Mary's and being undefeated going into that game. So for Park Ridge to get that win, I'm going to say Park Ridge.
Okay, I'm going to go with my surprise as Glen Rock on the flip side of Rutherford being dominant. I mean, you said it yourself. I was so surprised at the score. You know, I know Glen Rock had their chances, and I feel like, you know, oh gosh, if they could get just like one of those plays back, you know, yeah, it's one of those things. But it really, if one play goes a different way, it's a different outcome. But the whole game, like you said, I was just, you know, wasn't expecting it to be such a low scoring game, but it's such a testament to like those two teams just grinded it out in that game, which actually, you know, a question I kind of have for
Run
Coach
the ball,
Dunn
play
later.
Defense, baby.
And it was just such like an impressive game to watch. One of those games where you hate to see somebody have to be a loser. But yeah, I was just surprised, you know, that they ultimately did fail to get points on the board.
Jen, give me a stat line that made you say, wow.
Welcome to the NJIC Kobe St. Hilaire, 224 yards rushing, and I think it was 4 touchdowns.
Jen, this is now the second week in a row, right? We had Mr. Bruton from St. Mary's go off, St. Hilaire goes off, and you know, last year I've said that this was the league of quarterbacks, but this year it's the league of running backs. I mean, this is insane with the amount of running backs that are just unbelievable players.
And the stats they put up.
And the stats they put up. So I'm with you, Jen. Kobe St. Hilaire stat line. And I'll start my last one. I'm going to go team with the most pressure. I'm going to go with the Butler Bulldogs. You know, I mean, at home, defending NJIC champs, right? I mean, listen, they did it all last year. And listen, a slip up here and for them not to get into the postseason, it's a lot of pressure, right? And, you know, listen, all the teams have pressure on. I mean, it's good to have pressure. I mean, you're in a big game, right? But
it's a privilege.
I'm going to say Butler.
Who's stealing whose notes now? Yeah. I think you could arguably say that each of the 8 teams we're going to feature tonight are going to be feeling pressure, right? Because they all want to ultimately, of course, have that division championship. But I have to agree with you. When it comes down to it, you have one defending champion, and it's Butler. So I think that they have a little heightened pressure maybe over the other teams just due to the fact that they are the defending champions.
All right, that's my around the NJIC. We shortened it a little tonight since we got about 80 guests tonight coming in.
Well, let's start with our first guest. We are going to start with Coach Seri from Hasbrook Heights, and he has with him Nico Nipatella. So let me grab them in here. All right. Hey, Coach, can you hear us okay?
Yep. Thank you for having us tonight.
Oh, our pleasure. And Nico, can you hear us okay as well? Oh, I don't think we can hear you, though, Nico. Not sure what. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you want to maybe go out and come back in, and maybe I will readmit you there. But we're joined by Coach Seri and Nico Nipatella from Hasbrook Heights. So again, Coach, we really appreciate you making time in your schedule. My first question was for Nico, so maybe Kurt, you want to start with Coach.
Coach, thank you for coming on. This is like all in on Hasbrook Heights show. You guys are on every week now. You know, this is great.
We appreciate you guys.
No, Coach, you guys are having, like you said, an unbelievable team. You guys got a big challenge on Friday, but you guys are having a great season so far. Can you talk a little bit about some of the Butler strengths that you guys are going to be facing with this Butler team on Friday night?
Yeah, listen, I'd be on here for about an hour talking about their strengths, but you know, they're just really well balanced. They're really well coached. They got a lot of good players. You know, I know they graduated a lot of guys, but, you know, they just, if you watch them on film now, they just have guys that stepped into roles that obviously they're doing a good job developing their guys because, you know, they haven't really missed a beat, and it's really hard to find a weak in their defense, in their offense, even in their special teams. I think top to bottom, that's a top-notch program over there. And, you know, Coach Luciani is doing a great job. And, I give them all the credit right now. They're the defending champ, and we're just looking forward to the opportunity to go up there and play them.
Awesome. And Nico, can you hear me okay? Want to try your audio again?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Well, welcome again. So nice to have you. Thank you. Nico, we all know you guys have a great ground game and that Butler's going to want to stop it, right? So how important is it for you guys to actually make some big plays through the air in this matchup?
It's going to be a, you know, our ground game, Michael Knapp, he gets open space, he's going to make a play. But they're all going to be focused on trying to stop him. They're going to be focused on the ground game. We're going to have to get at least like 2 or 3 big plays in the air. Someone's going to have to come down and make a big play for us, one of our 4 receivers. And if we make a big play, it could change the whole game.
Nico, I'm going to ask you, we just talked about coach with Butler and stuff like that. So, again, you're going into Butler, right? The blue turf, all that. They're the defending champs. How big of a challenge is, not that just how big of a challenge is how much are you and your teammates looking forward to the challenge for Friday night to be in this game?
We've been looking forward to it since last year. The group of boys I'm with, ever since last year's game didn't end the way we wanted to. And we're always looking forward to like get back to them, especially now it's at their house. So we get to go on the road over there. It's a really big game to us. It's our last year. A bunch of the skills are last year. So, yeah, we have something to look forward to, and hopefully Friday we can, you know, I'm ready to go. Everyone on the team's ready to go right now.
You sound like you're ready to go.
I know.
Like you're ready to go.
Awesome. Coach, I'm going to come back to you on this one. You guys have a good mix of like senior leadership, but also like some young talent. So how have your upperclassmen helped like guide the younger players in preparation for a big game like this one?
You know, I think top to bottom, I think we have a pretty tight knit group. You know, we spend a lot of time in the off season in the weight room together and stuff like that. And you know, I think that they've welcomed those guys. I think our older kids know that, you know, for us to be successful, we have to put our best players on the field, regardless of what age they are and what grade they're in. And if they can do the job, you know, the best guy's going to play. And I think we established that last year really early in the season when, you know, second or third game in the season, we put a freshman starting at outside linebacker for us, and everybody's you know, face was kind of like, is this guy serious? And I said, no, listen, we're here to win football games, right? And build a program that people understand. If you come to Hasbrook Heights and you're good enough to play right now, you're going to play. And you know, that's kind of what we are trying to establish here. And you know, we want to be the best we can be. So why not put the best players on the field right now? If they're ready to go and they give us the best opportunity to win, you know, we're going to put them in the game.
Coach, I have kind of a follow-up question to you about that. Your second year at the helm, right? Like, you know, the consistency from just one year to the next. Like, have you noticed, like, just going into preseason, how much, like, you know, your kids kind of know the expectations, know certain things? Like, have you noticed a difference this year as opposed to last year with that?
I think they know the routine. I think we're very routine driven. You know, we do the same things, you know, day in and day out. You know, we might tweak it here and there a little bit, but for the most part is, you know, we're doing the drills we do it in the order. We do it every day. We don't deviate from that. You know, so I think they're more comfortable with the routine, if that makes any sense. And I think that we're more productive as far as time, you know, the time we're spending in certain periods. And I think you could see it at practice now. We're definitely practicing more efficiently and, you know, up to the standard that I'd like to see on a daily basis. You know, I don't know if we had the best practice today, but, you know, we got another chance tomorrow to get out there and make things right. Nico,
real quick, 30 seconds or less. You talked about, just because I want to put him back because he's been so fired up for this show. We got to get him one more answer. But, you know, we talk about offense, right? Like Brady Shine, you mentioned Napolitano. Now you got these sophomore kids. Like, as the quarterback and stuff, how nice is it just to have these weapons on this team?
Oh, it's great. I have my run game, and then I have all 4 of my receivers I have all my trust in. So I know if I get the ball to them, there's going to be a play. Like they're going to make a play. That's going to happen. So it feels great having, especially being all close to all these receivers, like having the bond with them. That's really important.
I have one more for Nico too. Then it's a little different when you're a senior. Like you have it, just a different perspective. Like it's like your final season. Like you guys, like you said, you have this chemistry, you've built this bond. So how much more special like do you feel this season, like with each game?
Well, I mean, this season especially, like it's our last chance we have. After this, most of us aren't gonna ever put pads on again, especially with all of our friends. Like this season means a lot to everyone, and we're just trying to give it all. And yeah.
Well, good luck to you guys. It's a pleasure to have you, Coach. Thank you always for your time. Nico, so nice to have you on as well. And we just wish you guys luck this weekend.
Thank you
so much.
Good luck Friday night, guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay, so there's Hasbrook Heights with a huge challenge. And listen, they're ready to go. And listen, that's going to be the last game we pick. I can't wait. I hope the Heights guys watch this pick tonight because my best friend's from Heights, right, Jen? Right? The relationship has molded being Heights, right?
Well,
I'm
it's so funny. You
back with
haven't
Heights.
told your bad story.
I didn't even think of this. Look what I'm wearing tonight.
Black.
I'm wearing black. Oh, Coach Luciani. Oh boy.
Well, you know what? I love what Nico said. Like, not only is it the last time that some of them as seniors might be putting on, their football pads, but I used to always say this to my players. Last time with just this group.
Yes.
It'll
never happen again.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again.
Of players. It's just, the nature of high school sports. So,
and again, before our guests come in, Jen, waiting on a couple of guests, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, we have a segment to scoop in here before our next guest.
We were, we were in person for the Heights and the St. Mary's game,
mm-hmm.
and we were just so impressed with the physicality.
Mm-hmm. And
listen, we know Coach Bertola over there. I mean, what he's going to do with the defense over there, and just how hard they played, and the young kids that came in, the Culinary, the Hain, you know what I'm saying? Like
mm-hmm.
that group is like, it's just like the physicality. We know, like
who's number 20?
Yeah, who's that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, you got the speedster,
the names, from last year.
But now you got the hard running, and listen, this team, it's a very good team. This team is a very good team.
Definitely.
Real quick, Ernie May saying hello, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Hello, Jen and Kurt. How many picks are you going to actually make tonight? LOL. Every game seats like a game of the week. Kenny, is this true? It really is. And Kenny saying loves the shirt.
Oh.
By the way, puppies and tattoos again. So
all right, before we bring in our next guest, we kind of inserted a little segment last week when we were, each week, as we've been like culminating the stats for each week. And that's not to take away from any of the other classes, but we kept noticing like there's a really strong sophomore class across the NJIC, which just kind of makes it exciting for the next 2 seasons to come.
Yes.
Right. So we just wanted to take a moment and kind of we highlighted about 9 different sophomores that we wanted to highlight.
And there's
here.
more too.
Of course there are. Of course there are.
We just kind of did like skill guys for now.
Yep,
so I mean, there's probably some linemen like Coach Eddie's got a freshman. So
exactly. So, and again, sometimes your linemen are more of the unsung heroes of the team, and of course, like jumping off the stat page or some of, like you said, your skill players. So and in no particular order, right? We just have Jerheny Rodriguez from Garfield, and we just had Coach Serion, and we were talking about some of the youth, Nick Haynes and Michael Culinary, both being huge contributors so far for his team.
Jen, we'll start with Rodriguez first. And listen, the Garfield team, we said it once we watched that first game against Dumont, even though they lost, what we say, this team is it's jumping off the screen. He started the season with an unbelievably punt return to start the season. He's a big time back there. Had a tough one versus Lyndhurst, bounced back last week. Big rivalry this week versus Lodi, but listen, he makes that offense go. The next 2 guys are the Heights guys, right? Haynes and Culinary, like we're saying, when we watched again, we were saying, who's that running the ball versus St. Mary's, right? And it's Haynes, and he made great plays.
2 huge plays in that game.
The hook and the lateral later on and to win the game.
Like the tide changed.
Yep. Culinary all over the field. Offensively, defensively, little thing. And again, for these guys to get all this playing time on a really good team, right? On a really good team, it says a lot. But listen, their future's not just bright. Of course, their future's bright, but they're bright right now. And all 3 of these guys are big, are big players in this league.
All right, another set of players. We have Luciano Mayer from Waldwick, Avery Cano, who was one of our top dogs last week, and also making a splash is Miles Simmons from Woodridge.
Jen, Luciano Mayer, kind of like going under the radar a little bit because they also have Dylan Ferreira. But again, a big part. He's been having 100 yards over the past couple games. Again, I think they're, Waldwick's in every game, right? They're in a big running team, like I said, with the senior quarterback, but, Meyer has come onto the scene. We talk about Avery Cano, right? He was our Bo's
top dog
of the week. I mean, listen, this might be the most electrifying back in this league. This kid is, a home run hitter everywhere he goes. Anytime he touches the ball, and you could just like, and he's got that like demeanor of him too. Like he doesn't seem like a sophomore, like when we spoke with him, he spoke more of like a leader and stuff like that. But listen, anytime this kid touches the ball, it's a home run waiting to happen. And Miles Simmons, right? I mean, when you talk about Woodridge, you always talk about Chris Rios, right? And that group and their senior leadership and stuff, but he's giving them a nice, run game to go along with that, right? That physicality. And we watched them versus St. Mary's play a physical game. And they're gonna have a physical game this week against Park Ridge. So it's nice when we say, hey, everything starts with Chris Rios, but do not overlook this kid in this running game from Woodridge.
Yep. And our last set of three is John Joya and Quinn Weber on Rutherford and Patrick Randolph from Park Ridge.
Yeah, we saw what John Joya did Friday night. What was it? 160 or 176 yards against Glen Rock in that game.
The catalyst of that dominant possession.
Speed, but power. I mean, they just, the Rutherford's offensive line and that, I mean, they had drives of like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. And it just, listen, they took, to run the ball, play defense, right? And that's what they did. They took that in his hands, and Joy was that. Quinn Weber, again, they didn't really score a lot of points. They scored 3, but I tell you, he made so many big plays in the defensive backfield. We had his brother on as our guest picker last week, but he made so many more plays, as a D-back. And again, you're a sophomore playing back there against, Glen Rock does throw the ball around. Burkhart and Brazil, Brassel last week. Big plays, and these guys made big plays, a couple big breakups. And again, on the offensive side of the ball, he's also a weapon. And what else can we say about Patrick Randolph? I mean, he came onto the scene as a freshman last year, and we were just like, okay, let's wait for his sophomore season. And it's just, he has not disappointed. And just every game you look at his stat, 140, 170. And listen, he's going to have a big all these guys are going to have big challenges this week. And listen, they're good teams. They're going to be playing for a lot. So this group of super sophomores is fantastic. A couple of comments from Patrick. I need to get you guys some shirts to give you guys. So impressive to resolve the resolve of the players and coaches at this level. So impressive to see. Yep. So thank you, Patrick. And again, what Patrick does, gives all the coaches coffee. He's just a great guy out there. Jen drinks the coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
I do.
So.
And I brought it into work. I share it with my coworkers. They love it. It's in our teacher's room. So Patrick, thank you so much. Yeah.
Jen, what's your thoughts with this sophomore? Again, it's just, I think it's, listen, like you're saying, it's not wait for 2 more years. Like all these guys have arrived right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. They are all impact players on their team and I just think it's exciting for the conference when you have these impact players who, you're going to continue to watch. It's exciting to see like they're making an impact now, but they have room to continue to grow, and I feel like, and we're going to have Coach Tuero in a moment, but when he came on with Avery last week, when he received one of the top dog awards for the week, he said, he made the point of saying he's still getting better every day, and like these guys haven't reached their peak, and that's a scary thing, a scary good thing, and they also are on teams that have great senior leadership. So as much as like, I think that's always important when you have like, stronger underclassmen, is that they're still, as much as they're contributing, like they still have a lot to learn. Their role next year might be different in terms of not just, listen, we got other people to stop on the team. Now, when those guys graduate, they're going to focus more on me, so, I mean, there's going to be some role changes, some leadership things too, but I'm excited to see them. It's a strong class, and Yeah.
Kenny's saying I'm have to
grow.
be the first one to wear a Lion Coffee shirt, though. And our good friend Albert Knopper saying good evening. What's up, Albert? How are
Well,
you?
You know what? We have Coach Tuero ready to go in the waiting room. So why don't we bring him
Let's bring Coach
next
Tuero
in?
in.
Okay, let's bring in Coach. And he's going to be joined by Coach Tuero of Lyndhurst, and he's joined by Matthew Jarvis. Hi, guys. How you doing?
How's it going?
Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Coach, can you hear us okay? Oh, we can't hear you, Coach.
There we go. Now we're
There
good.
There we go.
All
All right.
right. Welcome back, Coach.
I'm a little rattled right now. The Yankees let me down. I'm a little rattled.
Oh, I know.
Coach, why are you taking him out? What are you doing?
No.
What are you
know
doing?
what? We should have known. They did it all year. It's what are we doing? I don't know.
What are you going to say? What are you saving him for? Let him pitch. All right.
Exactly. Who cares? Win the game. Win right now.
Exactly.
What are we doing? It's frustrating. I'm a little annoyed right now.
That's right. You got the Knicks around the corner, Coach. Don't worry about it.
That's it.
All right, Coach, I'm going to start with you. Beckton got off to a rough start, right? 2 tough losses, but now 1-3 straight. What would you say is different with this Beckton team, and what do they do well?
They throw the ball well. They're a whole different team from last year. Listen, last year, having Palsy, the kid's an absolute stud. He could beat you in any play, whether he was throwing the ball, mainly running the ball. Completely different team now. They have a different mindset that they're not running the ball nearly as much. They're throwing it, but they throw it pretty well. They're a good football team. They have 2 losses, but they're 2 good teams. So we obviously have a lot of respect for them. They have a great football coach. Jackie Marr does a great job. The whole staff's great staff. But yeah, man, they're a good football team. It doesn't matter. They have 2 losses. They're good.
Matt, I'm going to come to you on this one. Week 0 last year, a real tough loss for you guys against Beckton on your home field, right? We know, coach says take it 1 week at a time, but has this game been circled for you a little bit? Not just because it could be a division championship potential, but even for payback?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all knew that it would come to this. It would be the league championship. But they took it away from us last year, our whole season, taking away that league championship and all the stuff they're taking away from us. So, yeah, I guess you couldn't say it's a revenge game this upcoming week.
Matt, I'm going to come back to you. Like Coach said, they do have a different, I get offensive philosophy this year, right? They do. They sling it around a lot. So, how do you guys contain this passing game? Is it going to be a challenge and stuff for you guys defensively this week?
It's the same thing with every team we play each week. There's a game plan, and as long as we all do our jobs, our defense coordinator, Joe Casagnetti, he's the best, and he knows his stuff. So I personally listen to what he says, and we go out there and play hard and stick to the game plan.
Coach, from a coach's perspective, right? How exciting is this week in the NJIC? Kurt and I, Kurt says all the time how he just loves how you guys do your conference, right? And I'm getting this together, texting with all you guys, and you called it championship week, and it really is. From your perspective, how exciting is it to be in this conference and have this type of experience?
Let me tell you, it's awesome. We always talk about it with the professional leagues, right? The schedule makers, but let me tell you, the schedule makers did a pretty damn good job. I don't know. I don't know if they did it intentionally, but they did a pretty damn good job. I know for a fact that our game was moved intentionally. That was a conversation that was had from both teams last year because playing Beckton week 0 was not that it would have changed anything that happened last year. I'm not saying that by any means. But I felt like both of us felt like, all right, well, hey, it'd be pretty cool if this was later in the year, and it happened to work out in that favor. But you got Butler and Heights. Tons of games. It's championship week in the NJIC. It's pretty cool. Rutherford. Who's Rutherford?
Cresco.
Yeah, Rutherford.
Cresco. And then you got Woodridge, Park Ridge in that one.
Yeah. It's an awesome week. I'm excited about it. It's what you do this for, man. There's nothing like it. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Practice today was a lot of juice. Kids are fired up. I can't sleep. I'm losing my mind. I'm driving my wife crazy. It's a great time to be alive. Yankees got my mind off of stuff a little bit, but now I'm just back to thinking about what we got going on tomorrow, ready for practice, ready to go. And Let's go, man. I can't wait for Friday night.
Coach, we got a comment from someone I used to coach with, Mr. Stephen Armstrong. He said, my guy Richie, doing an amazing job at Lyndhurst. # keep pounding.
Montclair State, baby. We played together, man. Steve's the man. We played together. He's one of the best to ever do it. That's awesome.
Matt, I'm going to come back to you really quickly. We've been fortunate to have you guys on a few times, and we know you had like a big game where you guys honored like the first responders, and you had the 100th coach. I don't want to get it wrong. The 100th season, right? Did I get it right? Okay. And I just from a player's perspective, like what was it like that night having like the alumni in the building? I feel like as a coach, I used to always preach to my players, like, you're not just playing for you. Like there were so many people that came before you that like still have such a vested interest. And like you guys just had such a great turnout that night. So as like a current player, what was it like to play in that game?
It was extremely cool to see all the support and from the community and the alumni. And coach always said, like, you're not only playing for like yourself, like just the whole Lyndhurst community. Like it's really cool to see like everyone come together like Friday nights at the football games and seeing everyone there. And honestly, I feel like it's sparked up the team and made us play even harder to show all the fans.
Kenny Kirkpatrick from Maryland. Coach, I always compare the NJIC to a smaller baby brother to the SEC. A lot of competitiveness, hardworking teams. Congrats on 100 seasons, Lyndhurst.
Thank you.
All right, Coach and Matt, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. And best of luck to you this week.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck Friday night, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, so there's Lyndhurst coming in on riding a 4-game winning streak, and a big one Friday night, right? They're going to Beckton. Like we said, we were there last year, the week 0. That game went right down to the wire. And listen, the rematch is finally here. It's not just a rematch. It's it's a lot of division championship. I mean, Lyndhurst pretty much with the win clinches that division, right? I mean, Beckton keeps it maybe open for Garfield with the win. So listen, a lot on the line. I know they're fired up, and listen, we're fired up. Good friend Clayton saying hello. What's going on, Clayton?
We have Coach Marr and his Beckton players. I think we're waiting on one more Beckton player, but I'm going to let them in case there was a change. So let's get Coach Marr. We're moving right on. Hi, Coach. How you doing?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Coach Marr?
So thank you so much for joining us. And you are joined tonight by Lucas Frank and Everett Bell. And I know that I just wasn't sure if we were still going to be able to have is Patrick Lynch still going to be able to join us, Coach?
Patty's up in the air. He had a dinner to go out to tonight.
Okay,
so he might not be able to make it.
That's why I didn't want to wait on bringing you guys in. So sounds good. So welcome, guys. So nice to have you. How are you guys doing? Good.
Doing good. Doing great.
Good.
Lucas, I'm going to start with you. Your passing game has improved game by game this season. How productive does it have to be Friday night to play against, to defeat Lyndhurst?
I think we just have to catch the ball. That's the main focus. A big part of our game is yard after the catch. We just got to dominate on that. We got to make sure our blocking scheme is good and giving time for our quarterback to make a play for us.
You're back to Everett.
I'm back with Everett. Okay, yeah. Okay, changing a little. Everett. All right, I'll start with you. Right, Lyndhurst has a big time rushing attack. Obviously led by Avery Cano. What are some keys defensively to slow this rushing attack down?
I trust all my defensive guys to know their what they have to do. We know we have to keep them inside and just dominate defensively overall.
Coach, I'm going to come to you on this one. I know that you and Coach Toro have a great amount of respect for each other. You both run top-notch programs, and last year's game was a great one. So I'm wondering what you think of this year's matchup.
I think, I was watching you guys before. You were talking to Richie and one of his players, and the scheduling and how, we actually did talk about it, how we tried to move it from the first game of the year last year. I mean, last year we played on like August 29th. So, pushing that back to later in the season when it's more meaningful and, not the opening day means a lot better. It works out a lot better. But, Richie and I get along very well. Off the field, we coach in the All-Star game together. We've coached a bunch of times. So we know each other. I know just the natural rivalry that we have with them. It's great, and to have, not that I planned this because I didn't have any say in this, but it is our homecoming too. So it should be a fun night in East Rutherford on Friday night.
Well, that's actually a good segue to my next question. I had it for Patrick, but Lucas and Everett, I'm actually going to ask you guys both to answer this one, if you don't mind. I wanted to talk a little bit about that, atmosphere. I know you guys have like the Becton Jungle, right? So what are you guys expecting? I didn't know it was homecoming, so that adds a whole other element, right? But what do you expect the atmosphere to be like on Friday? Lucas, we'll start with you.
I expect there to be a lot of people, very loud, a lot of fans. So I expect it to be very loud and packed.
How about you? Sorry, go ahead. And how about you, Everett?
I have family from Lyndhurst. Obviously, I have family from here. And I just know a lot of people are going to be here. They're 2 towns away. And, both teams want to come out victorious. So I know there's going to be a lot of fans backing their respective team.
And Coach, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the other players? I know you have Lucas and Everett here, obviously, who are 2 of your 3 captains, if you want to start with them, but some of your other players that have been making an impact this season.
Yeah, we definitely have some really great leadership. These 2 guys here have been 2 of the best that I've had, along with Patty Lynch. Everybody follows them no matter what. Everett's our vocal leader. He's not afraid to do anything, get anybody's face or talk to somebody. Lucas is a leader by example, and Patrick is the quiet assassin, man. If you watch that kid play, I tell him I've been telling Everett every day for the past 4 years that I enjoy watching him play football, but I really enjoy watching Lynch play this year. He's really stepped up his game. But other guys, Eli's been having a pretty good season. I think he's been overlooked because he started as a freshman those 4 or 5 games when Jonathan Palsy went down, and he just got thrown into the fire. He was a 14-year-old freshman and didn't know what the hell he was doing. He honestly didn't know what he was doing. And then last year when John went down again, so he had to kind of step in. So we did have a backup quarterback last year, but for the fact that he's able to really understand and grasp what I'm trying to teach him, and he's still a junior. He's only been a quarterback as a junior for 5 games now. He's still still maturing. So he's been playing well. We have our Preston Pitts has been lighting it up, offense and defense. He's a shutdown corner out there. Malachi Johnson's a sophomore defensive end. I think he's got like 7 sacks on the season. Our offensive defensive lines are stepping up. Jordan Javier, who was a first-year starter, he's playing nose. He's been a pleasant surprise. It's just a lot of these guys haven't had the experience, but as the games go on, it's working out in our favor.
Coach, I just love before you. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I just love as you're talking about your team, like your captains are just like nodding their heads. I just love that. It's so nice to see. Like you're saying what good role models they are, and they're showing it right here.
Coach, we got a comment from Coach Tuero. He said, "Jackie, you made it homecoming for me."
I knew I know how he's going to be in the locker room. We'll probably hear him through the walls because he's very loud. Because I've heard his pregame speeches for All-Star games, which don't even mean anything. So I'm sure he's going to be fired. I had nothing to do with that one, I can guarantee you. But
I gotta ask Lucas one more, and you can be honest here on the show, okay? How nice is it now that last year, Lucas, sometimes Palsy ran it 70 times a game, and you're like, you look now at the stat line, Eli, 15 for 38. Like, how nice is that you're slinging it around a little bit?
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Different world. We are living in a different world from last year,
That's
for sure.
That's it.
Coach and Lucas and Everett, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. It was a pleasure to have you on, and best of luck to you this weekend.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Our
Good luck Friday night, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so Becton, again, start 0-2, but listen, now they're getting hot. They get the experience, like he said. And I got to tell you, Eli is an exciting player. We watched that Butler game, Jen, and I'll tell you, he made so many plays in there where, and again, it's against Butler, right? So, you know, you could just tell, listen, he gets in the open. He could be a problem for Lyndhurst. You know, I'm trying to say in that area, they're going to, you know, get to keys and stuff. They got to contain him. But
well,
listen, it's going to be an exciting game.
Let's get to those keys, Mr.
And remember,
Lindsay.
picks at the end. We're not doing picks until the end.
Yep. So let's start with Lyndhurst. One of your keys for Lyndhurst is key number 1: get Cano touches all different ways.
Listen, this is for all the marbles now, right? Like this is for the division. This is what you wanted. This, you know how good this kid is. I go back a couple years when they won a state championship, and I forgot the running back's name. I can't think of it, but anyway, like they gave him touches, you know. Whether it was screen passes, obviously as a running back, they went wildcat. And I think it's the same thing with Cano. Just the more touches you get, the more game-breaking ability you're going to have. So get Cano touches all different ways.
All right, your next key for Lyndhurst is no scrambles for Eli. That's the Beckton quarterback. Yep. And don't lose track of Lucas Frank.
Yeah, we just said it. Like Eli, he is, listen, Lyndhurst is going to come after him. That's what Coach Castagnetti is going to do. But listen, this kid is elusive. He's, you know, he could scramble. He can make plays. I mean, you can make plays. Now a coverage breaks down. You have a great wide receiver like Lucas out there. Again, that could be problematic. So just make sure you're containing him. Don't let him get around with the scrambling. And hey, if he does, make sure you're not losing track of Lucas Frank.
And your last key to victory for Lyndhurst.
There it is, Peter Partella. That was him. What a stud player. But you know what? Hey, Lyndhurst they gave him that rock. Whether it was wildcat in the backfield. So listen, same thing with Cano.
And your last key to victory for Lyndhurst is someone other than Cano needs to make plays.
Yeah, in a big game like this, listen, everybody knows Cano is going to get the ball. But listen, you know Beckton's got a great defensive coaching staff, right? They know it, right? You heard what it is. So someone else at some point is going to have to step up, whether it is a Jarvis, right? Whether it is a Frias. You know, they have other plays. Bellinger making a big play. So one other guy to make big plays like that, you know, to solidify, obviously, the majority is going to go with Cano.
All right, let's go to your keys to victory for Beckton, starting with the return of the Pelzer
package. You know, this is crazy to sound, right? But no, it's crazy to sound, but in spurts, right? Because listen, Lyndhurst is great at, Beckton is a little inexperienced up front, right? We knew that. They had the skills, but inexperienced up front. You know what Coach Castagnetti is going to do, right? And so now, hey, if I just have 5, I'm going to send 6. You know what? A little package of, even though you don't have passing, but I think I saw it somewhere. I think I saw a little like direct snap to somebody. So maybe, hey, get in a little tight set, and you know what? Just test Lyndhurst, run at him, just slow that defense down. Listen, you ran for 200 yards last year. Again, it's a different team, but you ran for that, right? So you had success. Get into it a little bit, just show Lyndhurst a little different look, and hey, keep the clock. You keep the ball out of Cano's hands. Just get back into that a little bit.
Your second key to victory for Beckton is to protect Eli.
Yeah, listen, Lyndhurst is going to come after him, right? Like that, Lyndhurst is aggressive defensively. They have a nice front. They have skilled kids on the back end to where they can say, hey, if I have to send 6 and send 7, I'm going to do it. Beckton has to protect him. If you protect him, like Coach said, you have led by Lucas Frank. You have a lot of good receivers on there, and Eli is very elusive. He can make some plays. So number 2, they have to protect him.
And your last key to victory, is no home runs for Cano.
Sounds like Robinson. Cano. But no. But listen, you can never go and say you're going to stop him. No one's going to stop him. He's too good of a running back, right? But again, it's demoralizing when, you know, you hold him for 3, you hold him for 6, and now boom, here's 80.
He's capable.
He's capable at any time. So just take that away. Let Lyndhurst listen. Like I said, if you're going to give up a score, let it be a 6 or 7 minute score. Shorten the game so he doesn't have, you don't have to deal with him the whole game. No big plays. Listen, the more you do it now, you could have a turnover. You could have holding, like things change when it's not, boom, there's 70. So that's my third key. Just, again, not slow him down because you're not going to stop him. Just no home runs.
Right.
You have anything on those keys that you like?
Well, I mean, I think you as always, you hit the nail on the head with those. I think the Cano one especially, we talked about in his opening game. I think it was he had back-to-back 80-yard runs. So
and why I said the thing, obviously, listen, you don't have pals and stuff, but what it does too, it'll slow down. Where just say the Lyndhurst defensive line is getting better than you, right? Is getting better than the front. Hey, you know what? Listen. and Coach Sheridan always said, listen, line them up, me versus you. Hey, block down, block everybody down and kick out and just listen, run a QB power, put, one of your big, just to like give them something else, so it's going to slow that line down because you know what Castagnetti's going to do? He's going to come in, he's going to try and go get them. So just slow it down. Again, just a little package of it. So
yeah.
We'll see.
Good keys. Well, you know what? We're moving right along, and we have we're moving on to I forgot to mention the Lyndhurst-Becton matchup is the Colonial Division. We're moving on to the Hasbrook Heights. We split up Hasbrook Heights a little night to make it work for Coach Seri, but he's representing the Meadowlands Division, and we're moving into the Liberty Division now. We do have Coach Dunn and AJ ready to go, so I'm going to bring them in if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get them in here. All right. Hi, guys. Hi, Coach. Hi, AJ. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, Kurt and Jen?
Good.
Awesome.
Hi, AJ. How are you? Oh, we couldn't hear you, AJ. Oh, you know what? You might have to maybe go out and come back in. Yeah, sorry. We'll try that. I'll let you back in. I promise. I know we're having some technical difficulties with the audio tonight.
Just a lot of trophies in the background for AJ.
Yeah. I didn't know. I have to take a peek at that. That's impressive. Just so you know, Coach, what did we lose internet about an hour ago?
Yes.
We had a little bit of a panic attack when we lost our internet. So we're it's par for the course tonight. Let's see. AJ is back in here. Let's get him in and try it out. Hey, AJ, how you doing? Oh,
no, we don't hear
you. Yeah. I'm not sure what device you're on, but if you maybe want to try, I don't know if you have a phone, maybe if you want to try that.
Real quick, going back to the Lyndhurst-Becton, Jen,
Okay.
real quick, Coach Terrell's also saying, remember, it's a trophy game too. Lyndhurst-Becton is the Hall of Fame game dating years back.
Oh, I don't think I was aware of that actually. But Kurt, you want to start with Coach?
Yeah, Coach, unbelievable game. We were so fired up watching that game on Friday night. It was so exciting. I mean, listen, if it was exciting for us, I can't imagine what you were going through. But I got to say, you guys were just so dominant. What was I kept saying? You kept yelling, Jen, but keep running it, Coach. Keep running it. Like, you guys were so dominant in that game up front with your running game. Do you guys think you need another performance like that this week against a good Cresskill team?
Well, I hope it's not. I hope we could score more than 3 points. Have you guys ever seen a 3-0 game?
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I coached when I was coaching at St. Mary's. Coach, we went and played Cresskill, and I don't even want to say it was mud. It was a bad storm we played, and their kicker kicked like a 47-yarder to win the game at the buzzer in a mud storm. So yes, I witnessed a 3-0 game.
You're one of the only people because not many people have seen a 3-0.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. You know what? I'm wrong. It was 3-2 because they took a safety. No, seriously, they took a safety with like less than 30 seconds left. I'm saying it was 3-0, but it actually was 3-2. Because they took a safety late in that game, so it was 3-2.
Yeah, so my voice is still shot from that Friday night game, but yes, we're gonna have to put together a good performance. Cresskill is an amazing team. They have a ton of weapons, and if we want to go out and win this division outright, which we're gonna have to beat Cresskill to do, then we're gonna need a great performance on Saturday afternoon. We do our homecomings on Saturday at Rutherford, so should be a nice little showdown at Tryon Field.
AJ, I'm going to come to you. How's your sound? I think it's good now.
I think is it good now?
He's back.
Awesome.
He's
All
back.
right.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
AJ, your defense was phenomenal last week, shutting down a potent Glen Rock offense. This week you face another strong offense in Cresskill. What do you guys need to do defensively this week to have another dominant performance?
I think we just need to trust each other and our teammates next to us and just listen to our coaches. Glen Rock, they did a really good job at scrambling and keeping plays alive. And I think Cresskill is very similar and that they like to expand plays and look for their skill down the field. So I think we just need to keep them in the pocket and just continue to cover down the field as the play continues.
AJ, I'm going to come right back to you. It seems you guys have a lot of weapons in your pass game, right? You being one of them. But it's not like, there's a certain year 1, year 2, year 3. It's like every week there's somebody else. And it seems like you guys don't care about like who it is, just as long as you guys get the job done. Is that true?
I think it is. I think we have a very dynamic a group of wide receivers. Not only are we big in size, but we have different aspects that we excel in. And I think that each one of us have good matchups against different teams. And that allows us to have good games against one team or another. But no one feels that they're wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2. We just like to go out and try to find the little things that we can take advantage of, no matter who it is.
Coach, I got to Coach AJ made a great point. Like looking back at you guys do have a lot of tall, big receivers. That is nice. Like watching you guys the other night, and it's AJ makes a catch, Weber makes a catch, and it's like, man, these kids are big. They're big receivers. So that's nice.
We try to coach kids up, but you can never teach size.
No, that is nice.
However, you don't.
Coach, I'm going to come back to you on this one. Last week your team rose to the occasion. I feel like the game was not only tough physically, but really mentally, right? That's not a game that you've experienced this season, right? You have a lot of young players too, so they could have, especially when you're not scoring, you feel like, oh my gosh, is panic going to set in, right? But how proud are you of this team? And then how do you prepare them to turn around and do it again?
Well, it's a great question. You took the words right out of my mouth. I am so proud of these kids. Sometimes I call them the puppies because we only have 2 seniors on the roster. Most of this team, just about the entire team, will be back next year. But we made a conscious decision. I think I said it here in the last time that we're not talking about 2026. We're here for 2025 only. And, those kids a couple different times. Glenrock got close to scoring. They actually dropped 2 passes in the end zone right before the half. But, that game, at the end of the day, our young kids found a way to win. And these kids have been winners their entire life. So I think it showed them that they stick to what we're trying to do, and they keep continuing to work hard and trusting one another, kind of like AJ said, that they could pull it out in the end. And I think that, as we go along through this journey of 2025, we'll be in a couple more, really close dog fights, if you will. And they're going to have to do that to pull it out. And I think this week it is probably another example. Again, I'm very high on this Cresco team. I think they're very good. So, we'll see how things shake out.
Coach, we got a comment from Coach Baera, doing a great job at Ramsey. They're having an unbelievable season, saying the Bulldogs always come to play. So, Coach Baera. Coach, I'm going to ask you one in a game like that, because I believe this was the first field goal that he hit. Is that correct? Is that the first field goal?
Yes. Graham, we got him back this year. He played in 1 year, I believe, in junior football, and he didn't play his freshman and sophomore year. And I got him out. I got him to come back, and he's been a good addition. And by the way, Coach Bear's doing an awesome job up there.
Awesome job. Coach Terrell is asking time for Saturday.
3 p.m. SATs.
Okay. But Coach, I guess my question is, were you just listen, 4th down, I'm kicking it, or obviously you did it, so you had confidence in them, right? So what was going through your mind? Was it 3rd down, hey, if I get to 4th down, I'm going to kick it? Or was it a last, second decision? Or
I did not think twice about it. We were in a position where it was 3rd down and maybe 8-ish. And I said to my OC, if we don't cut this within 2 yards, we're kicking it. And we didn't do it, and we kicked the ball. It was about a 30-yard field goal, and he was true. And we actually put him out there for a second field goal that he did miss. But same thing, didn't think twice. So, these kids come to practice every day. They work hard. I can't take that opportunity away from him. That's his time to shine. That's why he puts in this work, puts in this time to be a kicker. And that was his moment. And when his number's called, and it's part about being a team, being a program. When your number's called, you have to go out and perform. And that's exactly what Graham did. And that's what we expect from all our players.
And Coach, my last one for you is, when you looked at Glenrock and Rutherford, did you ever think it's going to be a 3-0 game?
Oh. I'll tell you exactly what I said to the kids after the game. My first comment was, that was not on my bingo card. So, this is coming off of last year where we played each other a 31-30 game. It was back and forth. So, not in a million years did I expect this to be 3-0. I kept saying on the headsets, we're going to need to score at least 2 more times in the second half. And it just didn't work out like that. We had a couple really good big plays defensively, and they never really threatened as far as, I don't think they ran a snap inside the 25-yard line. Now they did put the ball in the end zone with some poor passes, but they didn't get in any kind of red zone situation. But it's just the way things shook out. I think you said it before. We kept the ball on the ground pretty well, but I'm just proud of our guys. And Glen Rock is a great team. They still have a lot to play for. So, we got our work ahead. We have our work ahead of us too.
AJ, I'm going to come back to you really quickly. As we said, tough game mentally and physically, literally tough and figuratively tough, right? So, but also just the emotions, so I'm sure you guys were ecstatic to come away with the win, a hard fought, win like that. And then, but from a player's perspective, how do you then come back down, and then make sure you guys refocus? Has that been a challenge for you guys, or coach have to remind you, how's that been for you guys as players?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Dunn always says, don't let the highs get too high and the lows get too low in the season. We even stressed it in 7-on-7s and stuff like that. But be scoring as much as we did in the last couple games and then having kind of a down game for us and having a rough game on offense, that itself kind of made us consider that there's still a lot more to work for, and that almost made us not get too high, because even though it's a big win for us, we know that we still have to improve a lot, and that a game that's 3-0 that we could have done much better and avoided penalties, and even on defense we could have played much better in some aspects. We know that there's still a lot more ahead and that we can't win every game if we play that way still. So we know that there's a lot of work ahead of us, and that as much as we want to celebrate a big win, there's still many more games in the season that are just as important, if not more important for us.
Great perspective.
Yeah.
Great perspective.
And Jen, if you want to see kids get humbled, come to our film session after the game. You'll see really humbling. No one walks out of there with a smile on their face. The other thing, AJ just dropped the line I probably haven't said in about 2 months. So it just shows you, when you're a coach, the influence you have on these kids about the highs being too high. I'm proud of him that he even said that.
Well, Coach, I have to say that was my thought. I'm just as a former coach, for him to quote something that you've said, it just shows the impact that you're having, and that they're, I always hate using, I always say this, hate the word buying in, but that that's something to buy into though, so that's so nice to see. It must make you very proud, Coach.
And just like you said though, this league is, Coach, it's what makes this league so good, right? You guys get through a game like that for Glen Rock, and it's all right, what's next? Now we got Cresco coming out. It's it's a great league. It is so I'm telling you, I love this NJIC. I just think it's it's an awesome league.
They do it right. They really do.
Coach and AJ, thank you so much for your time tonight. And of course, good luck on Saturday as well.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, so there's the Rutherford Bulldogs again, off to a and we said again how young and talented they are, but I love what Coach says is, I don't care about 2006. Hey, we're here to win in 2005.
Yeah. No, I think it was last week he said to them, do you want to win now?
Right.
And they were all yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's and listen, and again, this league, you're going from Glen Rock, and now it's, you're we get by them, and now Creskill's waiting, so it's just, hey, it's what makes this league. It's what, but you know what? You love that as a coach. It's challenge after challenge. These kids, they have to be on their A game for this week with this good Creskill team coming up.
All right. Well, speaking of Creskill, we have them ready to join us as well. So I'm going to bring in Coach and Joey, and let me introduce them once they're in here. Hi, guys. We're joined by Creskill head coach, Coach Aiello, and his player, Joey Connolly. How you doing tonight, guys?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. Joey, can you hear us okay?
Okay,
great. Welcome.
Joe, I'm going to start with you. You guys seem like you're a big play team this year, right? You guys do a lot of damage through the air. Glen Rock had some chances last week against this Rutherford team, but they didn't capitalize. How important is it when you guys get a chance to capitalize this week against Rutherford, you guys make sure you hit those big pass plays? Oh, did we lose Joey?
Okay, you think you can hear us?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear me on that one, Joey, or no?
Hello?
He's a little lagging behind.
His left.
Yeah, I said last week, Glenrock had, you guys do a lot of your damage through the air, right? You guys have a really good passing attack. Glenrock had some opportunities last week. They didn't capitalize versus Rutherford. How important is it when you guys get a chance this week that you guys capitalize versus Rutherford in the pass game?
I put it in the chat
I feel
too.
like
If
it's
you want
like very important. I feel like it's like very important to capitalize on those because passing is like a main pretty good, but I feel like our passing is the best. We have like good weapons, Justin So, Xavier, Nick Giella. They're all like really good wide receivers for us. I feel like it's pretty good to capitalize on that.
Nice. I like how you mentioned so many of your teammates. Coach, I'm going to come to you on this one. You know, Rutherford, great team, strong program that you guys are preparing for. So what strengths are you guys looking at that you need to prepare for this weekend?
I mean, I don't want to steal Coach Surrey's answer, but I mean, you could really go for a long time when you talk about the strengths of Rutherford. You know, honestly, they're young across the board, but you could just tell, and when you watch film, they're well coached. They do what they're asked. You know, Coach Dunn and his staff does a great job, and you could tell you could tell in the little things. And I think other coaches notice the little things like their body language, their tempo, things like that, stuff that, you know, maybe when you watch the film, it doesn't scream at a non-coach, but it screams at us and we see it. And, you know, we're just happy for the challenge this week.
Coach, I'm going to come back to you. Your first year here in Cresskill, did you anticipate you guys being in such a big game in your first year?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It's tough. We never really looked too far into the future. I think it's rare to take over a team that was 6-3 the year before. So no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, a 6-3 record is hard to achieve. So clearly there was talent here. You know, I just kind of hoped I didn't get in the way and didn't slow them down at all. And I've been fortunate that we haven't, but you know, our first goal in that first team meeting was let's play meaningful games in October. So far this is a pretty meaningful game and we're excited for that.
That's awesome. Joey, I'm going to come back to you on this one. Last week, Rutherford rushed for over 200 yards, and they really dominated the time of possession. So how important is it for you guys to come out physical this week and prevent that from happening again?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be hard, definitely, because a pretty good line running back guys, Nick, Mason, Max, our linebackers, and our defensive line need to step up, and I feel like they will like take with stopping them.
Coach, I'm going to come back to you, Coach. You know, I asked you about like, did you like anticipate it, right? Like, what's the atmosphere this week in practice, right? So you guys obviously, hey, Rutherford gets the win last week. You guys now get your crack at Rutherford, and listen, it is a big game. So just what's the atmosphere been like in practice from listen, when as soon as you guys met on Monday, like what's it been like?
Yeah, I mean, film sessions, you know, our week really starts on Saturdays. Normally when we're playing Friday nights, we come in, we watch the film, we do a recovery lift. Monday we have our JV game. So we have a little bit more of a pared down practice. We do a lot of conditioning. But we've said it, and we've said it since the beginning of the season. Each week gets more intense, and that's whether you win, that's whether you lose. It's we're building towards something, and it doesn't get easier, it gets harder. So that's really what we're looking to replicate. I thought we had a good practice today in our offensive day. So, you know, we're pushing. The kids are working hard.
Joey, I'm going to kind of bring that same question back to you a little bit. You know, what is like the camaraderie amongst the team? Like, do you guys have a strong bond that you're carrying through? Because again, like sometimes, you know, you have a new coach, you're coming off a good season last year. Like, would you say that you guys are really gelling like at the right time here?
Yeah, I feel like that's like mostly a strong bond. Like we're all friends, we all talk to each other. Like definitely with Emerson's kind of hard, like a long distance. We don't go to the same school, but I feel like we really connect with each other. Like talk more, which like really, I like good friends with each other.
Coach, I was going to ask that question as well. Have you noticed that it's been like a challenge with combining the two schools, or has it been something that the kids kind of like, effortlessly kind of have, just gotten past?
I don't know what it was like the first 2 years of the co-op. I know this year we've done some things. The off season, we use the weight room in both schools. We've tried to practice a little bit in both schools. Obviously, we play home games at both schools. So other than, the logistics of getting the buses and getting things, getting kids from point A to point B, you really can't tell the difference. I mean, the boys are boys, right? So they bicker like brothers, and that's every team you're on. And I actually like it more when a Cresskill kid's bickering with an Emerson kid, because it means they do have each other's back and they've got the camaraderie. But honestly, the separation, I think, is our strength a little bit, just because we have two fan bases, we have two school districts, and just logistically, I drive from Lyndhurst every day, so I about meet the bus there, so they're not waiting on me.
Coach and Joey, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your time, and best of luck to you in your game this weekend.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the coffee. We got it. My wife is very happy.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Did you guys like it? Yeah. Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, we'll brew it this weekend.
Coach, by the way, the logo is changed. We took care of that too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No.
Thank you for sending it to us. Yeah, I want to make it updated. Have a good night and good
luck this week, guys.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, so there's Cresskill, and again, like, hey, we mentioned the coach. Again, another team where it's, hey, let's win it. But see, Coach made a great point, right? Like, how many times you come in, and you know what? We're going to talk with Coach Carbone. He's kind of in the same situation where team comes in with a lot of talent, right? It's not, you're not building, you're not rebuilding and starting over. You're coming in 6-3, like he said, just don't get in the way. But I don't think he's not getting in the way. I mean, he's putting his stamp on this program, and hey, they got a big one on Saturday, and listen, explosive. Again, we mentioned it last week.
Well, let's get to your keys so you can talk a little more in depth about those. Exactly. So let's get you to Rutherford, their keys to the game. The first one is get to Jake Lewin, the Cresskill quarterback.
Hey, they throw it, right? Joey's a big part of that receiving game, but they want to throw it around. They average more than 20 points per game. They're almost like a Glenrock. You got to get to him. If you let him sit back there, listen, it's going to be a problem. So put pressure on him, make him uncomfortable. That's key number one. Get to him.
Key number two for Rutherford is ground and pound again.
Hey, listen, do it again. Coach Dunn ain't going in there saying we're going to score 3 points, right? I mean, I don't think that's the game plan. That's not going to be the game plan. But you know what? It could be the game plan of the physicality that they got, right? We talked about we're going to get out of the NJIC for one reason, and Bosco beat Bergen, right? This week. You know what? Bosco had that ball at the end of the game. They pick it off. Bosco runs, I think, 9 plays. Guess what they did? Ran 9 straight run plays. Guess what happened? They took a knee. They won the game. It's run the ball, play defense, right? And listen, Rutherford showed what they can do. And I said it when we were there live a couple of years ago. They always have skill kids, but how physical they are, And so listen, do it again. Hey, the more you keep, just like you kept Glenrock off the field, you're going to keep Cresskill off the field. Run the ball, wear them down, do it again.
And I think Coach Dunn would like to see this one as well. Your last key for Rutherford is to finish those drives with 6.
Listen, it's not the easiest thing to do, right? Like, listen, as a former offensive coordinator, sometimes, it's so frustrating. You get down, you get down there and you can't punch it in, right? So listen, it's a great coaching staff over there. They'll work on it, but instead of, hey, now you have a kicker, which is nice, but you know what? Instead of going for 3, hey, let's get the 6. So I think that's the third one. Finish those great drives. Hey, you have an 8-minute drive, a 9-minute drive. I don't even know how many minutes that was. I mean, it was a long time now, right? Finish that with 6, and then you really feel good.
All right, and let's move on to the Kreskill keys to victory. Your first one is make the big pass plays that Glen Rock didn't.
Coach Dunn mentioned that they had 2 touchdowns back to back, or 2. It might have actually been back to back or 2 and 3 plays. But listen, when you get the chance, you have to be able to complete those big passes, right? And especially in a big game like this, especially on the road against a good team like Rutherford, you're going to have an opportunity. You got to finish that play.
And your second key to victory for Kreskill is that they can't let Rutherford have those long drives.
You can't. You know, it just, listen, I said, what do you remember what I said to you when we were watching the Glen Rock Rutherford game? I said, you feel like defeated as a defense when you can't get off the field, and it's just 3 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, and it's just like, how do I stop this? It's like it's never going to end. The only way it ends is when they score a touchdown, right? It's demoralizing. You can't do it. It's just going to wear you down. Once you get worn down like that, and you bring people in the box, now they go over the top. So, you know, Kreskill has to get off the field. They can't let what Glen Rock did the other night. You have to get Rutherford off the field.
And you're also saying that they can't do last week for Rutherford was a defense.
Plays. They're big plays. Like I said, want to sling game? Let's go and high scoring.
Or I'm gonna just.
Okay.
Are you able to?
We have internet here. By the way, Graham is checking in, saying hello. So we might have to you on. Okay, I think we are back.
Okay, let me reload. Can you hit on our main screen there?
Okay, so Okay, we seem to be back. Low internet issues. I don't know what's going on here in Clifton.
Apologize. Wow, it's been an evening. Yeah. So for our internet, we thought we escaped it. It happened a little earlier. So our apologies for the technical difficulties, but thank you for staying with us through it all. I apologize if you heard us behind the scenes and we didn't know what was going on. But you know what? We're gonna move right on to the Patriot division, and we have Coach Carbone, and he's going to be joined by Derek Correa and Nick Scalera. So let me bring them in. Okay, let me get the right people here. Coach Carbone and Derek and Nick. I don't know if they're coming in. There we go. Hey, Coach, how you doing? Oh, no, can we can't hear you, Coach.
Let's bring Nick in.
Okay, let me
bring him in.
2 Nicks here. Let me remove that one and bring in this one. Hi, Nick. Hey, Derek. Can you guys hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Great. And Derek, you're good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. And Coach, how's your sound? Can you hear us? Yeah, we can't hear you though, Coach. I don't know if you want to exit and then we'll let you back in. Maybe we can try it that way if you like. Nick and Derek, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. We'll try to get Coach situated with the sound. It's been a little bit of a
crazy night with
a rough technology night here on everybody's end. So we'll skip Coach and Derek. I'm actually going to start with you if that's okay.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
By the way, Daniel's saying, "What's up, buddy?" So Daniel M checking in.
All right, Derek, you guys are holding teams to just over 4 points per game, and you boast 3 shutouts. What challenges does the Park Ridge offense pose for your defense?
Well, obviously, they have their running back who I would say is pretty good, but I feel like even with all their hardships and everything, I feel like we're a disciplined team, and I feel like we can stop everything that they have coming for us.
Nice. And Coach is back in. Let's see if we can hear Coach. Coach, how's your sound?
We still don't hear Coach.
Can't hear Coach.
Somebody better get on Coach in that locker room tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to go to Nick while we get Coach working on, right? So, Nick, why you guys, your offense, it's so hard to stop, right? You guys got so many weapons. Obviously, it starts with Rios, but you as a receiver, your running game, right? Like you have other receivers. So what do you guys have to do? And you guys are putting up tons of points, right? Tons of points all year. What do you guys have to do offensively against Park Ridge this week?
I would say we would just stick to our same thing we've been doing all season that's been working. And, we've added some things, everybody does. And we're just going to continue to do everything and just stick to everything.
Let's see how Coach Lefney is going to come back in here. You know what? I had this question for Coach, guys, but he shared with me, and then we actually shared it our Instagram page as well, that you guys are doing, like, your theme for the game this weekend is teacher appreciation. Is that right? And then he had you guys each, like, write letters to, like, teachers who had an impact on you. Is that correct as well? Yeah. So I just think that's so great. Like, it's just like lessons beyond like football. So like, how did you guys feel about that? Like doing that for a teacher who had an impact on you? Derek, you want to start and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was a really great idea when my coach brought it to me at first, I feel like teachers aren't really appreciated that much. So doing that little gesture kind of showed them how much we care about them and care about the things that they do for us. So yeah, I just thought it was really heartfelt, and I thought it was one of the best things that he came up with for her football program.
How about you, Nick?
Oh, yeah, I definitely feel like it was a good idea. It was so nice seeing all the teachers smile and just making their day. So it was definitely great.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up question. Like, how was it received by the teachers? Were they surprised?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I'm a teacher. It was so nice to see. I was like, oh, that was so nice. Yeah. I wasn't even there or part of it, and I was touched and emotional about it. So that was great.
Nick
so
is
nice.
saying, Coach Carbone, the GOAT as well with my boys.
All right, Coach, how's your sound? Any better?
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, all right, he's there. There we go. All right,
I had to go to the phone.
No worries.
Coach, I'm going to come to you. We all know, right? Park Ridge boasts a stellar running back and Patrick Randolph. But what else impresses you about the Park Ridge team?
Listen, Park Ridge across the board is, they're well coached. I think Coach Homan, he's been around for a long time. Whether it's baseball, football, he's won a lot of games, so they're going to be disciplined. They're definitely gonna, they're gonna do all the little things correctly. You could tell by watching them on film, and obviously everyone talks about Patrick Randolph, but they have, the kid Nate Shannon's pretty good. He's gotten a handful of carries, and he does some good things for them. And the quarterback makes throws when he has to. And listen, Wing T, they're gonna try to, I told the kids today they're gonna try to bleed the clock as much as they can, and that's kind of the game plan. And you watch all their games, and they don't kind of go away from what they do. They just stay disciplined in what they do. So we got to be disciplined. We got to stay, do our assignments, and we didn't have the best day of practice today, so
Coach, that's all these teams in these big games this week. All the coaches are saying they had bad practices today. I don't know what's going on.
But you know what? It gives the kids an opportunity to bounce back for tomorrow, and it's not I told the kids today it's not they can't, it's got to be another game. You can't put the big game feel on it, and then kids start to psych themselves out. And it truly is. It's the same game. It's just the stakes are a little bit higher, but nothing changes as far as your preparation and what you do. So.
Coach, it's funny you say that. As we were doing our prep for the show tonight, Kurt and I kind of talked about that exact thing. Like, where is that fine line, right? Of like, we just treat it like any other game. Like you're saying, we're preparing the same, but at the same time, like there is that, gravity of like, it is a bigger game. So like, how do you walk that fine line with the kids? Like, and make them realize, like you're saying, it is any other game, but at the same time, we do realize like, it has, it's a little more meaningful.
Right. And I think I like to use things that I see that can kind of help them. I actually just saw a video from Derek Jeter that I showed to them, and he basically said that if you prepare the same way as you would the World Series as you would a spring training game. So like if you do that, then when you get to those moments, they're not as big as they actually seem, and you just keep yourself on the same track and do what you're taught and do what you're coached. And these kids have been making plays all year, so now it's just another opportunity for them to do so. So,
Nick and Derek, I have a question for both of you. Nick, if you want to answer this one first, like from a player's perspective, right? You guys are, first year with Coach Carbone at the helm of the program. You get off to this 5-0 start. You're shutting teams out. You're playing now for this divisional championship. Like when you started back in August, or even, I'm going to say prior to that, but when the season officially started in August, was this what you were anticipating, or has it like exceeded your expectations, or were these the goals the whole time?
Yeah, these have been the goals since day one. Coach came in, he asked us, he put a blank screen on the board, and he said, what does it mean to be a Woodridge Blue Devil? So we kind of just think about that every day, and we've just been working hard since then.
How about you, Derek?
Yeah, like Nick said, these have kind of been the goals since day one. And even at that, we're not finished. We're 5-0 right now, but I feel like we can obviously get further and continue the streak. But it just all comes down to our determination and our dedication to keeping that with us.
Nice.
Well, guys, all I'm going to say is have a good practice to make Coach happy tomorrow, right? Step it up. It's getting late now. It's Wednesday, make Coach be able to sleep tomorrow night, all right?
I never sleep.
So it doesn't matter what type of practice, right?
Good or bad, it doesn't matter. So,
Coach, while you were connecting before, I'd asked the players about that teacher appreciation activity that you did with them. And my question for you with that was like, I feel like that is a lesson like beyond football, right? Where you are teaching them to kind of like, recognize the people who had made an impact in your life. But also I feel like it does a lot for just like the camaraderie, like beyond football, like in the greater Woodridge community. Was that your goal with that?
Honestly, the reason behind it was it meant something to me because my teachers and my coaches were like my biggest influences, and like they helped me a lot. And I was somebody who needed guidance and that kind of stuff. So when I found that through my teachers and coaches, they helped me a lot. And I'm still very close with a lot of them today. And I just thought it'd be, I just thought even from a way of saying thank you to them, just showing them that I'm trying to give back to. That's the reason I got into education and coaching, just because I wanted to kind of do the same things for, the people that did it for me. And, I think these guys did a great job. One of the things that I think they took it serious. And I think if you saw the video, you saw some of the teachers, like their emotions and, I'll use Derek for an example. Derek is a great kid. And sometimes some teachers don't know if he's, cause he kind of keeps to himself. So they don't really know if, what he is about. And just for him to kind of do that, I think from that teacher's perspective, I think it probably took him back a little bit. And, Scalera never stops talking, but Derek definitely is one who I think it surprised his teacher a lot. And I just think the goal was basically to show those people that they could mean something to these kids and they may not even know it. And, it goes a long way. And you're definitely right as far as community and keeping everybody together. I think that, that helps when everyone is involved in it, but it definitely does. It definitely ties it all together. And we also did one for our athletic director, Mr. Sinclair, who does a great job. So across the board, I think it brought, a lot of emotions that day, but really nice on our kids' part. They did a great job with it.
That's so nice. And hopefully they will all be there to support you this weekend.
Well, yeah, Park Ridge is a little further, so I don't know how many people will get out there. But that's okay. As long as Kurt picks against us, we're all right.
No, I know. I think, Coach, when you came on, we lost our internet. So I don't know, you trying to do something because we're picking against you.
Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate having you on, and best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Hey, Kurt and Jen, I got some apparel coming your guys' way. So
Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you. Good night, guys. Good night, Nick and Derek.
Good night.
Good luck, guys. Okay, so there's Woodridge 5-0 Woodridge, and listen, they've been scoring a lot of points, and again, like what Coach said with Park Ridge, how Park Ridge plays, like with the wing tee, they want to run the ball, they're going to shorten the clock. So it may be a lower scoring game, and listen, when you do play like that, like now offensively, you have to make sure that again, you're not going to be perfect on every drive, but I'm saying, like your possessions are going to slow down a little bit, right? So you just got to make sure you have shortened possession in games. You got to make sure you're on your A game. It's gonna be a big game. This is a big one for them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, moving right along, we have 3 players from Park Ridge that I'm going to bring in, and we're going to welcome in Aiden O'Connor as well as Jack and Nate Shannon. So let's get them in here. Hi guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you? Good. How are you?
All right. Good. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time to be with us tonight.
Anytime. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
All right. Our pleasure. Jackson, I'm going to start with you. You guys had a tough loss to Garfield in week 1. Right now you have 3 wins in a row, including a big one at Pagoda. So what do you think the difference has been these past 3 weeks?
Well, we've been bringing it at practice. We've been kind of like playing together as a team. We are one and we lean on each other for everything. Whether it's football, school, sports, everything.
Nice.
Aiden, I'm going to come to you. Same kind of question, but specifically for the offense, right? You guys go 6 points, I believe, in the Garfield loss, but now you guys are putting up a lot more points, right? So how much more confident is this offense, and why do you think this offense is a lot more confident?
Yeah, I mean, we're a lot more confident now. Going into week 1, we had a pretty solid playbook, but we've definitely, put in the work to improve that. And the plays that we do know, run it a lot more efficiently. And as you can see, we put up, more numbers, more touchdowns, everything in the past couple games. So we are definitely more confident.
And I'm going to come to you, Nate, on this question. Last year, I'm going to go back to how you guys ended last season, right? You had like 3 tough losses to end the season, like a good season, but with those 3 tough losses. So what did you guys maybe learn from that experience and you've used to help fuel you this season? Because here you are, it's enabled you maybe to play for a division championship.
Definitely practicing a lot harder. And we're like going faster harder, more efficiently. We're getting more plays going, all kinds of stuff. It all happens in practice and just playing with your brothers. That's it.
I'm going to go to all of you guys on this. I'll start with Aiden. So big one this week, right? You got 5-0 Woodridge coming in. You guys are hot. They're hot. Some division championship maybe on the line, right? At some point it's on the line, right? I mean, there's still more games to play because other teams are still involved, but this is a big one, right? So what do you expect from your crowd, from your fans and your crowd this week?
The football culture in Park Ridge has always been great. We always get a good crowd, and the school. I mean, it's a small town. School, town people, everybody very close knit. Everybody knows everybody. Everyone just wants to go out, support the town. We put on for not only the school but for the town. So we're expecting a pretty big crowd. Like you said, it's a big game. You got to treat it like any other game though. So we're ready. I think we're gonna have a great crowd. It's gonna be a great game, and we're excited.
Yeah.
Jackson, what about you? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of Aiden. Yeah. So Park Ridge is pretty much based off football is our sport. Like everyone football here, Nate, you got this one. So I was saying that sorry.
No.
For football, Park Ridge is football's our sport, so we're playing for the town. It's awesome to play with the town behind us, rooting for us, and just a great feeling. I mean, this is why we play. We're playing for our town. We're playing for the man next to you. It's gonna be a great game, great team. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
I love that. And you guys have a little different perspective with that being seniors, right? And it's like you kind of don't understand that until you are in like the position you guys are in, right? And what I think makes the NJIC so special too is that like a lot of you have played together since you were little, right? So you guys, well, Nate and Jackson, you guys have played together your whole lives, right? But Aiden, how about you? Like all of you guys, like, and even the other seniors on the team, like, how long have you known each other, and has that helped you guys with like chemistry both on and off the field?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I played with Jack and Nate since first, second grade. We've known each other for the longest time, as well as Sam Fasolo, the other senior. He's been one of my best friends for the longest time. And not only that, but, even freshmen, sophomore, juniors, like I said, it's such a small town. Everybody knows everybody. I've known these kids for basically my whole life almost. It's definitely helped with the chemistry, like we say, we're family, So our chemistry on and off the field is great. We love each other. It's, great team.
Can I piggyback off of Aiden there?
Yeah, of course.
The brotherhood on the team is unmatched. Like we break it down, every huddle down the family. It's our motto. Something we believe in as with Park Ridge football. Pass the bridge, we touch the rock, which is Coach Miley. That's his motto, family. Forget about me, I love you. I mean, or when we're not on the field playing together, I mean, we're probably eating, getting food. We're just together at all times playing Xbox. Just the brotherhood. We love each other.
That's awesome. That's so nice. Awesome. It makes such a difference. So, and great members. Like I said, sometimes you don't really truly appreciate till you're in the position you guys are as seniors. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to have you, and lots of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys. We'll talk soon.
Our pleasure. Good night.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
All right. So again, hey, you know what? That loss to Garfield, and it was, you didn't have to worry about Park Ridge. That's not the case now. Park Ridge is back. They're back in a big way. They're hosting this big game against Woodridge. And, listen, a little different in styles, right? Like you said, they want to ground and pound it and run it. Woodridge can still do it, but I'm saying Woodridge likes to score a lot of points, So, listen, it's again, I can't wait to this one. And again, the thing here is there's still games to be played in that. You know what I'm saying? This division is still wide open, but this is a big one for both of these teams this week.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some of your keys for the game for this Patriot division matchup. So let me grab your keys. Our next ones, we're going to start with Woodridge. So your first key to victory for Woodridge is, I don't know if this is going to be tough. Don't let Randolph run wild.
Yeah, listen, I mean, we all know about him, right? We know what kind of a player he is. And again, Park Ridge has other players, but listen, Randolph is going to be their guy, right? And you can't have him go nuts, meaning, a 250-yard rushing game, something like that. You're not going to completely shut him down. He's going to get his yards. That's what Park Ridge wants to do. You just can't let him, just be, insane, have, crazy numbers in this big game.
Right. Your second key for Woodridge is for them to get ahead and make Park Ridge have to play catch up.
Yeah, Park Ridge wants to run the ball. Listen, they'll still throw it off of it, but I'm saying they want to be a running team, right? So what hurts sometimes when you want to be a full running team, if you're down 2 scores, you're down 3 scores, now you have to change your philosophy. You're not used to that. So Woodridge, hey, get up, get them out of running that offense and make them consistently want to throw the ball. It's what they don't want to do. So, hey, put them behind the 8 ball, get up a couple scores.
Right. And your last key for Woodridge is you'd like to see them be as physical as they were in their matchup against St. Mary's.
Yeah, we watched that game and we know St. Mary's is a physical team, right? And what impressed so much that night was the physicality. We know they had the skill kids, but the physicality up front on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, of how physical Woodridge is. Park Ridge is physical. Park Ridge wants to run the ball. So they're going to have to come Woodridge with a physical mentality. And like I said, hey, make sure you're bringing that, because again, you're going to be getting a lot of runs at you this weekend. So, be physical.
All right. Our next, we're going to move on to the Park Ridge keys for the game. And just like you're saying that Woodridge needs to stop Randolph, Park Ridge, you're saying Randolph needs to be super.
Yeah, listen, when it's a big game and you're a big time player, listen, you just, sometimes it's, hey, you got to take it to, when you're here, you got to take it to even a higher level. So listen, anything, again, other people will get to another key. Other people have to step up. But Randolph, this is a game where, listen, sometimes, hey, get on my back. Let's go. I'm going to take you there. And this is a kind of game where he's going to have to do that.
All right. And your second key to victory for Park Ridge is to control the clock, keep Woodridge offense off the field.
Yeah, listen, this works hand in hand because this is what Park Ridge wants to do, but it also, Woodridge's offense is so explosive, but you're not explosive when you're on the sideline, right? Listen, we watched the Rutherford Glenrock game. Rutherford just running 6 and 7 and 8 minutes off the clock. If Park Ridge can do that, not only are they moving up and down the field, that's what they want to do. Listen, Woodridge can't score, right? So control the clock. You keep that Woodridge offense off the field.
And your last key to victory for Park Ridge is to determine who will step up with Patrick Randolph.
It's no secret. Any defense is going to zero in and say, first thing we have to do is stop Patrick Randolph, right? But listen, they're going to have to hit some big plays. They're going to have somebody else at least step up because, again, a defense, I'm not going to say a defense can take anybody away, but I'm saying is when you focus and, you can try to really like isolate and say, we're taking this person out of the game. Somebody else has to step up. So again, we know Randolph's going to do it. Who is the other person that's really going to step up in this big game to make some big plays to get Park Ridge to win?
All right. Great keys as always, Kurt. And we are about to bring in our last, started the show with Hasbrook Heights in the Meadowlands division, and we are going to end the show with defending NJIC champion Butler, their opponent in the Meadowlands division. So we have Coach Luciani and David Smith here. So let me get both of them in. Hi, Coach. Hi, David. How you guys doing?
Kurt and Jen, hello.
Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
When Coach Luciani's here, I don't know if you can see me.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Listen to me. This might be back for the pick segment. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's go.
All right.
Well, welcome, guys. It's so nice to have you. Thank you for being here. You're going to start with Coach. Right?
Yeah, I need 20 seconds for this one. Coach, all I heard last year was the Knicks have no bench. We have listen, McBride, Clarkson, Yabusele, Jen's boy, Brogdon, Mitch Hart. I'm ready. We're 22 nights away, Coach. 22 nights away from opening night. Let's go.
We are on the cusp of something special that's about to happen, and I cannot wait.
We're doing it, baby.
Let's
doing
go.
it. All right. So I'm going to start with you, Coach. I'm afraid to say this, but a little sloppy to start the season. I saw you guys with the Becton game, little turnover here and there, just, but not last week. Not last week. You guys were the old Butler team's back. So what was the difference last Friday? And do you need another performance like that against Heights this week?
We were certainly making our fair share of mistakes against our early opponents, but to give them fair credit, Becton and Hawthorne, two really, really tough teams. And then last week, I think I think last week was a complete game. You know, we felt very, very good about the way we performed last week against a very tough Seahawks team. It was physical.
Yep.
They ran hard, they blocked hard, and we did the same. We were fortunate to come out on top. But if we perform like that against any opponent, we're going to be a tough out for just about anybody.
David, my question is for you. Hasbro Kites has been playing tremendous defense all season long. They're giving up just under 7 points per game. So my question is, what do you guys have to do offensively this week versus that Heights defense?
Yeah, I think we just got to play our game. You know, we know the talent we have on offense. We know the talent they have on defense. When it comes to a game like Butler versus Hasbro Kites, it doesn't matter what year it is. From a talent standpoint, whether you're on the field, sidelines, the booth, the coaches, the student section, the talent is unprecedented. So whatever team executes better is going to walk away with it. We know we have a vision of what we got to do. I know they're definitely practicing some game plans on who they're going to try to shut down. It's just who's going to execute, you know?
Coach, my question to you is about the Heights run game, right? Which is very impressive. A lot of different offensive weapons. How do you prepare for a run game like Heights? And what do you think the keys are to slowing it down?
They run a very diverse system. They do a good job with their schemes. I think Eddie does a really nice job with his program. I know I can see some. I think he has Jason Nasser on his staff. Some Delaware wing T stuff that they're trying to utilize, and it's really, really effective. They have a variety of very good backs with team speed, and their kids get off the ball and they block. So you have to play assignment football. You have to line up properly. The kids have to do what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. And you just can't let them get downhill and get a head of steam, or they can really make you pay. So we have to play smart, tough, physical Butler football. And, they present a plethora of challenges. So we have to bring our A game to be ready for them.
David, I'm going to go to you. Like last year as a junior, obviously you guys win the NJIC. You win more than the NJIC. But as a senior now, and obviously you guys looking to repeat in the NJIC, how's it been different as a senior? Like, have you taken on a different role this year as a senior?
Yeah, senior year, especially with the role of captain, all the eyes, you feel it on you. But it's really, pressure is a privilege. I'm thankful that I've earned the position to have all like the eyes on me. And you said earlier about Becton. I'm going to take all the credit on that. I might have started the worst game of my life there. Luckily, we picked it up and my guys got my back, defense, and we were able to clean that up. But honestly, just the pressure of senior year, I wouldn't even call it pressure, but it's starting to seep in that this is my last run with my friends, and that's really enough motivation we need. It doesn't even have to be different. Just the fact that we all are starting to realize that this is our last time together. We want to put our best foot forward, and hopefully it's pretty entertaining for other people to watch.
But you know what, Dave? We were talking about this before. We were talking about like pressure, right? And it just shows you like that's, you know what, like I would love to have the pressure, right? Because it shows you guys are a good program. It shows you guys are always in big games, right? So listen, it's like you got to love that, right? I mean, so how do you and your teammates like say, like, do you guys agree with me on that statement? Like, yeah, hey, we want that pressure because we know that means a lot if we're getting pressure. We know we're in big games.
Oh yeah, the more eyes on the game, the better. Everybody wants to perform in front of a crowd, and it might make the losses a lot more sting. It might put a lot more sting on those losses, but those wins are really rewarding when you get to come out with a big team. And this Friday, it's going to be no different. They got a plethora of talent on their side, and we got the home crowd, so it's going to be a good one for everybody watching.
Robert Carrera saying, great job, boys. Coach, hell of a job. From Robert Carrera.
Coach, from a coach's perspective, we were talking to Coach Carbone a little bit about this, and I want to get your perspective as well, right? Like we always say as coaches, right? Like we're going to take it a week at a time, and we're going to prepare for every game as if it's just another game, right? But at the same time, the reality is like this is a big game, so like how do you address that with your, like here you have like a returning quarterback who has a championship under his belt, but you also have younger players who are experiencing this type of quote unquote pressure for the first time. So how do you kind of walk that fine line with them?
We really try to focus on the details of what it takes to be a successful program and to be a successful, first of all, position player. What do you have to do at your position, from the very most minute details all the way to the big picture. And we try to focus on those small details and not get really wrapped up in, the gravity of the situation that we're in. And we have found that has been really, really successful for us. We try not to talk too much about the importance of a game, what this game means. I really try to steer away from that. And I really just try to have the kids and the coaches focus on what are we supposed to do, when are we supposed to do it. And that has been, I think, for us, something that helps keep us focused week to week. Sometimes, you find that it gets a little bit boring for the kids sometimes, but so when you talk about the pressure or the gravity of a situation, the kids know, they know what this game means. They know who they're playing. So the difference in energy in practice has been palpable the past 2 days. So I would say, to answer your question directly, everybody knows what this means. The energy level is higher. The attention to detail is greater. So it's been, I heard a bunch of guys say they didn't have good practices. We had a really good practice today. That's what makes me the most happy anymore. Just having a good practice that puts me in a really good mood. So, really looking forward to Friday, but a good practice tomorrow would make me the most happy.
Dave, make sure you keep Coach happy, please.
do your job.
Do your job tomorrow.
Dave's one of the guys I don't have to worry about.
Coach and David, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you guys on, and best of luck to you this weekend.
Jen and Kurt, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck. Good night.
Okay, so we ended with the champs. The champs are back, and listen, they got a big one. They got a big one on Friday night at home. And what would Jack and Eli? What would our good friend Jack say?
On the blue turf.
On the blue turf,
on
baby.
The blue turf, absolutely. We
haven't heard from Michelle. We haven't heard from Michelle. We got to check in with Michelle.
I'll check in with her.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's do our keys to the game, right?
Okay.
We had Hasbrook Heights on at the beginning. So your first key for Hasbrook Heights is don't panic if you get down.
Listen, we know how good Butler is, right? And Heights did a great job of this in the St. Mary's game. They got down, and it's listen, just no big deal. You can listen, you score a lot of points. Butler's going to score. You're not shutting Butler out, right? So don't panic if you get down. Stick to your game plan. Don't get down 4 scores, but don't panic. No big deal. Keep the game plan going. Don't worry about the scoreboard and just play, and things can keep,
Which kind of leads right into your second key, is about get the game to the
fourth quarter, right? Like, listen, Butler is used to, Butler's been the best team in this league, right? We're not going to sugarcoat it, right? And Butler really hasn't had, you look back in the championship game last year, but besides that, how many games in this league have really been close, right? I know they had a 28-14 game this year, but how close was that? I mean, maybe a little too close for Coach Luciani, but get the game to the fourth quarter, right? Make Butler feel the pressure. Like we're talking, like make them feel the pressure of, hey, we're in this game, right?
Yeah.
We're listen, we can't make this mistake. So just get it to the fourth quarter.
And your last key for Hasbrook Heights is that shine, meaning Brady Shine, needs to shine in the passing game.
We had Nico Nipatella on before. We all know about Napolitano, right? We all know about Haynes and stuff like that. The running game, what they can do. Nipatella running the thing, but they have to make some big passing games, right? Butler's going to go and, hey, we have to stop the Heights run. So you're going to have some chances. You have to be able to capitalize in that pass game to loosen Butler up so you are able to run.
All right, and Butler's keys to victory. Your first one is for them not to fall for the fancy window dressings that Heights is going to make
Just
you
like,
do.
hey, listen, they do, like he was saying, they have a little of that wing tee. They're not like a wing tee, but they have like the scheme of it, maybe more in a spread, right? So they do a lot of the window dressing, right? The jet motions, the counters off of it. They do, sometimes Heights will go into like the Wildcat package. Just listen. Be like we always say, read your keys, be disciplined. All that window dressing is just window dressing to get you out of position. Don't worry about the window dressing. stick with your keys. Your keys will take you to where the play is.
And your second key is Butler is defending NJIC champ. So been there, done that, do it again.
Listen, it's again, everyone's gunning for you, right? When you're the champs, everybody's gunning. But you know what? You've been there, you've done that, you've won in big games like this. Heights is a team that has to go and say, oh my God, like this is a big game. Not you guys. You guys, listen, you guys have played bigger games than this, right? You guys have been playing state sectional championship games. So you've been there, you've done it, right? Hey, you have the confidence. You know you guys can do it. Just do it again.
And your last Butler key is to get Hasbrook Heights into 3rd and long situations.
Yeah, when you have a team like Heights who wants to run, listen, they're going to, Heights feels like they're a little like of an underdog here. Again, 2 great teams, but listen, Coach Sari's going to have to take some chances. What I mean by taking chances is, you know what, you might have a lot of 4 downs where, if it's, hey, 3rd and 4 and you get 2, now it's 4th and instead of punting on a 4th and 2, you know what? Hey, we have to go get 2 yards for a first down. So, you stop that by stopping first down, stopping second down. Now it's 3rd and 7. Now they have to throw the ball. It eliminates their run game a little bit in that situation. You get them kind of like off balance. That's key number 3.
All right. Great job, as always, with your keys, Kurt. Thank you so much. Before we go into our pick segment, we do have our guest picker. Spoiler alert, it is a Butler alumni that Coach Luciani hooked us up with. So PJ Coffey will be joining us in just a few moments, but we want to just get to our stat leaders of the week really quickly.
This is a long show tonight.
I know. So thank you everyone for bearing with us, and thank you, PJ. I know we want to get you in bed so you can get ready for practice, right? So our quarterback stacks for the week, we have Jake Lewin from Cresskill topping the board with 252 passing yards, Evan Cologne from St. Mary's coming with 224 passing yards, and Chris Rios from Woodridge with 201 passing yards. Our rushing leaders for the week, we mentioned at the top of the show, the most impressive stat line. You can make an argument for Kobe St. Hilaire at New Milford with 224.
In his debut.
Yep. Michael Napolitano, a frequent flyer on our rushing leaders board with 174. And John Joya, who, hint, hint, wink, wink, might be coming up as one of our top dogs with an impressive performance. Just as we said before, the catalyst in that game, low scoring game, right? But just, he did a lot of that grunt work to keep the possession time. Our receiving leaders for the week, Thomas Messina from St. Mary's at 158 yards. That Huertas injury kind of shifted things a little bit there, and I feel like he's now
dangerous now.
Yeah,
dangerous.
Joey Connolly, who we had on this evening from Cresskill at the leaderboard there as well, with 124 yards, and another one of our guests tonight, Nick Scalera, with 101 yards. Some of the defensive ones, I apologize, my 18 tackles is in the middle there instead of on top, but Christian Murcia from Pompton Lakes with 18 tackles. Several players with 16 tackles this week, Matthew Hera from Bogota, Evan Kurbsolb from Cresskill, and Matt Boysitz of Glenrock, and Michael Colinari of Hasbrook Heights coming in with 15 tackles. Some sacks and interceptions of note, Jack Spitarelli from Glenrock with 2 sacks, and Jojo Murillo of Rutherford with 2 interceptions. I believe Rutherford had 3 interceptions on the board that night, actually. Anything you want to add on those stats before we move on?
You spelled interceptions wrong, so I'm gonna get on you for that one.
I know. And we're moving into this week's Top Dog, Bo's Top Dog, sponsored by Puppies and Tattoos, a dog groomer for all dog breeds, big and small, with locations in North Arlington, Fairlawn, Montclair, and a mobile dog grooming service. Okay, and our first top dog is John Joya from Rutherford with 157 rushing yards. As we said, just the guy behind that possession time. Anything you want to add about John Joya?
Just ran hard. Listen to me, elusive, but ran hard, right? Against a good Glenrock defense. Again, they had drives of 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. They just took that, took the clock away from Glenrock. Hey, eked out the 3-0 win, but Joya, just only a sophomore, but just unbelievably impressive game.
Our other top dog this week is another sophomore. It was on our super sophomores at the beginning, Patrick Randolph, with 117 rushing yards and 3 total touchdowns for the week. Multiple touchdowns every week for this kid. Yep. So
And big game, at Pagoda, right? Big game where, again, it gets them in position to play Woodridge now for a lot in this division. Again, listen, he can be a lot of these guys, like Davis Smith could be, top dog a lot of the weeks with the stats. And, but you know what? We chose these two guys. Randolph had a great game, and, we'll see about next week.
All right, and our pick'em standings. You and I are still tied for first. I put you on top because I know you're a little sensitive at 47 and 17. Kenny coming in with the 5-game difference at 42 and 22. Last week, you and I actually had an 11 and 1 week, and our guest picker, who was Van Weber went 10 and 2, right? Woo. And Kenny 9 and 3. And our pick segment is sponsored by Villa Italia Pizzeria and Restaurant in Lyndhurst. So, and Coach Chara always says how much they give to the community.
Joe
as well.
Does a great job.
But without further ado, let's bring in our guest picker for the week now, PJ. So let's get PJ Coffee in with us, a Butler alumni. Let's see if PJ is ready there.
How's it going? I can't really get my camera to work. I don't know why.
That's okay.
No worries.
We hear you.
Yeah, that's all good. The volume is perfect. So don't worry. We got cut off before PJ. It's been a night of internet issues, so it's all good. Welcome to the club with us on that.
I'm just gonna ask PJ one question, and thank you so much for joining with us. You were an unbelievable player at Butler. And how much would you want to be playing Friday night versus Heights in this game?
I'm not gonna lie, especially looking at last year's Heights game, that was a lot of fun. So seeing that they're playing Heights, especially since it's a big rivalry at our home turf, that's always gonna be a fun game.
Well, we really appreciate you taking the time. And PJ, where are you now?
I'm at the University of Rhode Island.
And are you playing there? That's all. Yes, I know you said when we were texting the other night that you had to get up for practice. So we really appreciate your time, and we're not going to keep you for much longer. No. I promise.
No, it's all good.
But as our guest picker, we're always going to start with you. So with the Powell Park Elmwood Park game, who do you have in this one?
I think I'm going to go with Elmwood Park in this one.
Kenny is picking Elmwood Park as well by a score of 21-7, and I think Elmwood Park gets their second win this weekend as well.
Me too. We had Jesse Schratz last week. I think he has a big game. I'm going to go Elmwood Park.
All right, and our next matchup is New Milford at Saddlebrook.
I think I'm definitely going to take New Milford, especially since last year I know they got a couple guys returning, so I think I'm going to go with New Milford there.
Kenny's picking New Milford by a score of 20-14. I'm picking New Milford as well. I think the addition of Kobe St. Hilaire as well is a big game changer for them.
Yeah, PJ, I'm not sure if you know, but Kobe St. Hilaire made his debut, transferred in last week, and all he did was have 229 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's
a debut. So, yeah, I'm going New Milford too.
Alrighty, our next matchup is North Arlington at Waldwick.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go with Waldwick. I definitely know that they were a pretty young team last year, so they definitely got some dudes returning, so I'm going to go with them.
Kenny agrees with you. He's picking Waldwick by a score of 23-14. I'm picking Waldwick as well. Dylan Ferrara, Luciano Mayer, they're all over the stat sheets, like on both sides of the field. So I'm going to go with Waldwick in this one.
Yeah, Jen, North Arlington is so close though, right? Like they're so close to getting that first win. They're in every game, and it's coming soon. I just don't think it's going to be this week. Like you said, the Ferreira and Mayer, that rushing last week, they rushed for a combination of like 400 yards between both of those guys.
So like the tackle leaders
too. I'm going to take Waldwick.
All right, our next matchup, PJ, is Glenrock at Manchester.
Yeah, I think this one's kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm definitely going to take Glenrock in this matchup. They're a very physical team, so I'm going to go with them.
All right, and Kenny's picking Glenrock as well as by a score of 28-13. The note I wrote for this game was I just wouldn't want to be Glenrock's next opponent. I feel like they played such a tough physical game last week, and a game that, again, like a few things here or there could have really gone their way. And I just feel like coach has probably got them, not that he needs to focus them at practice, but we've had those kids on, and they're always so laser focused and like cool, calm, collected, but when they take the field, like they are just like they get the job done. And I just feel like they're chomping at the bit to get back on the field, and I just wouldn't want to be their next opponent. So I'm picking Glen Rock as well.
Yeah, they had their chance last week at Rutherford, right? Dropped a couple of touchdown passes, like we were saying, the coach done, but they can't sulk about it. Like you said, you still have a lot to play for this year. They play now an athletic Manchester team, but I think, you know, behind Brendan Burkhardt, that quarterback, he was very impressive last week. I think Glen Rock gets the victory.
All right. Our next matchup is Weehawken at Pagoda.
I think I'm gonna ride with Pagoda on this one.
All righty. Kenny agrees with you here too. Score of 31-21. I'm going Pagoda as well. This is actually a Thursday game.
You know what?
Oh,
yeah, it's a Thursday game, and it's an angry Pagoda team, right? Like they lost a heartbreaker against St. Mary's, then they came back and lost to Park Ridge. I just think too much Jaden Gonzalez, and let's give a shout out to Matt Harris, right? 16 tackles last week
Again,
for that kid.
always on our defensive leaderboard. Yep. So you're going Pagoda?
Yes.
Okay. Our next matchup is St. Mary's at Wallington.
I'm gonna go with St. Mary's on this one.
Kenny has St. Mary's as well. I'm picking St. Mary's here too. Wallington, just like you mentioned before about North Arlington being in every game. We watched Wallington this week, and same thing. Like, you know, the scores are not always indicative of the type of game that they're playing.
They did.
Yep.
Jen, you know, I don't know if anyone wants to play this version of St. Mary's though. Right now, they moved Evan Cologne back to quarterback last week, 224 yards, 4 touchdowns. He rushed for 80-something yards and a touchdown. George Bruton, another guy, PJ, 2 weeks ago, he made his debut. He ran for almost 300 yards last week. Now they moved Messina to receiver, 158 yards and 3 touchdowns. Listen, it's. I just think Wallington's going to need to score a lot. St. Mary's is going to score. Robert Miller does a nice job there as the quarterback. I think they'll play tough, but I'm still going to take St. Mary's. I just think too much offense.
All right, and our next matchup is Hawthorne at Secaucus.
I'm gonna go with Hawthorne on this one. I've been trying to keep up with Butler a little bit, so I did watch them play Hawthorne. Hawthorne looked like a solid team. They have a pretty solid quarterback, so I'm gonna go with Hawthorne.
Right. Kenny is picking Secaucus by a score of 21-14. This is the first one where we have disagreement. I have to tell you, look at my sheet, Kurt. Where is it? Who'd I pick?
Nobody.
I'm like torn on this one. I really am. I'm going to go Secaucus, though. I feel like they have had back-to-back, I'm going to use the word disappointing outings that were very un-Secaucus-like. So I think they bounced back this week at home. So I'm going to go Secaucus.
2 teams that haven't won in the past 3 weeks, but just like a couple of coaches were talking about, Coach Luciani said, both of these teams are like physical teams, right? You know, they're tough kids. They're physical. I think it's going to be low scoring. Secaucus hasn't scored much the last 2 weeks, but I think Brandon Vega gets it done. Jen, I'm with you. I'm going to take Secaucus in this one.
All righty. Our next matchup, PJ, is Garfield at Lodi.
I'm going to go with Garfield on this one.
All right. Kenny is picking Garfield by a score of 27-7. I'm going Garfield as well here. I know this is a crosstown rivalry, but I will let you speak more about that.
Yeah, it's the Battle of Harrison Avenue, right? The Battle of like Guinea Heights over there and stuff like that. But you got mayors betting each other. They got bets going on.
That's right.
But you know what? Throw the records out. Like, listen, Lodi is going to come to play. They might be 0-5, but this is like their Super Bowl if they can knock off Garfield, right? Garfield, hey, win this game. Like we spoke to Coach T, he gets to 4-2 with Becton coming up. You don't know what what can happen with the division for playoffs for them. I look for McCullough to have another good passing game. He had a good game last week. So I'm going to go Garfield.
Okay. Our next one is into our game of the week, so what we highlighted this evening. So the first one is in the Liberty division, and this is Cresskill at Rutherford.
I'm going to go with Rutherford here. They're very well coached. They're always a physical group, so I'm going to go with Rutherford.
Kenny's picking Rutherford as well by a score of 20-13. Just a reminder, Rutherford usually plays on Fridays. This is a Saturday afternoon game. I'm going to go with Rutherford as well. I think they put up more than 3 points this week, but I think that again, just a lot of kids.
They better put up 3 more. Coach Dunn will go nuts. Creskill's a forgotten I think, team in this division, right? We always said Rutherford. We talked about Glen Rock and stuff like that, but they could put up a lot of points. Obviously, we had Jake Lewin, we had Joe Connolly today, and defensively, Jen, last week, Evan Kersel, 16 tackles, right? But he's going to need to be ready this week because here comes Rutherford, right? We saw how dominant that offensive line. John Joy, you still got Miles Balkin. I mean, feel like he's been there forever over there. He's still only a junior, but don't forget that Rutherford defense, right? Jojo Morello, a couple big interceptions. John Kozlik last week. Run the ball, play defense, Shannon. Don't fail. And listen, I'm still taking Rutherford. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think Cresco's got a legit chance in this game, but I'm gonna go Rutherford.
All right, our next matchup is the Patriot League matchup between Woodridge and Park Ridge. Who do you have, PJ?
For this one, I'm a little split, but I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Park Ridge here.
Alrighty, Kenny is picking Park Ridge as well by a score of 22-20. I'm going Woodridge on this one. I think this is going to be a good game. I think it's really going to come down to, Woodridge has been scoring a lot, not giving up a lot of points, right? Patrick Randolph is used to kind of like, I'm used the word running wild, right?
Yep.
So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, but I think Woodridge comes out victorious on this one.
Like you said, Patrick Randolph can, and he has done it all, right? But now this is going to be his toughest test. This Woodridge defense is a very good defense. We saw what they did to St. Mary's. They're going to get their crack at Patrick Randolph now. We had Aiden O'Connor before. He's going to have to hit some big plays down the field to loosen that defense up from, them keying on Randolph. So it's going to be big for him to make some big plays, right? And Woodridge, we know it starts with Chris Rios, right? But it's not just all about him. Like you said, they got tons of, we had Scalera on, they have tons of weapons. They have Simmons now. The sophomore running back, we had him on the sophomore, super sophomore.
Yeah.
So he gives them that run game. And Coach Carbone, he likes when I pick against them. Not this week, though, Coach. I'm not going against you this week.
Ooh.
I'm going to go. I think it's going to be a lot low scoring because, again, that's what Park Ridge wants. I think it's going to test. But you know what? Woodridge did this already versus St. Mary's. They played that low scoring game. So I like Woodridge.
All right.
I don't know if Coach Carbone likes that, but I do.
Our next is the Colonial Division matchup. I feel like it was 3 days ago that we had Coach Tuero and Coach Mar on at the top of the show.
Yeah.
But PJ, who do you have in this one?
I like Lyndhurst
All
in
right.
this one.
And let's see. Kenny is picking Lyndhurst by a score of 27-20. This is going to be an interesting game. I just think emotions are going to be really high when you have that rematch from last year. Again, two programs that really respect each other. I'm so glad that it is being played when it's being played. I'm giving Lyndhurst the edge here as well.
Hey, the rematch is here, right, Jen? We've heard, we saw it week 0 last year, and all we heard was, hey, Becton won it. Lyndhurst felt like they were the better team. And you know what? Now we're going to see it again. Now we're going to see that talking's over. We're going to see who the better team is, who's going to get the leg up in this division. I think it's just a different of styles, right? Because Lyndhurst wants to run it. Becton loves to throw it now. I just think that if Becton has to throw it and I don't know if they can protect Eli with this Lyndhurst defense. Castagnetti's going to send people at him. I'm going to take Cano. I think, listen, I would not be stunned at all if Becton wins this game, but I'm going to take Avery Cano making a play or two late in the game, big break, a big play. He's the difference. And I think the Lyndhurst defense is the difference. If Becton can't get a run game going, I think they're going to be in for a long night because they're just going to start teeing off on them. I'm going to take Lyndhurst in this game.
All right. And PJ, our final game is the Meadowlands Division. Your team defending NJIC champions. Do I even have to ask who you're taking in this one?
Not really. I'm definitely going to ride with my dogs on this one. I'm going to go with Butler. I know a lot of the players that they have. I know what they're capable of. Especially with all the new players that they have. I think they're all starting to put it together, especially seen by last week. So I think they're really going to get things going, and they're going to take this one.
Kenny agrees with you. He's picking Butler by a score of 34-21. I have Butler as well. We had David Smith on with Coach Luciani just a few minutes ago. And, it's so interesting to hear him talk about like the difference between a junior quarterback, but now being, you're always the leader as a quarterback, but now he's a senior, leader with the championship under his belt. And they talked about the privilege of having the pressure of being a potential repeat champion. And I think they're ready for the moment. Hasbrook Heights, I feel like, though, is loaded, right? So I'm really interested to see this matchup because I'm interested to see, I don't know if Butler has faced a team with quite as loaded an offense as Hasbrook Heights. So I'm interested to see how they respond, but I'm going with Butler.
What's PJ tonight?
Our guest picker.
I have a guest picker too.
Oh boy. I don't know where he's going, PJ.
This is my guest picker. I don't know if you guys can see him. We're going to cover my face.
Yeah.
That's Jalen. That's Jalen Brunson, right?
PJ, are you a Knicks fan?
Yep. I'm actually a Celtics fan.
Cut him off. Get him off. If he said Pacers, he's coming off. All right, so I got to move this over. So nobody beats Butler. Not on the blue turf. That's never going to happen. Not on that turf. I mean, nobody beats Butler at all, but definitely no one's beating them on the blue turf, right? You got probably the player of the year coming back, David Smith, right? You guys won this, won that, Coach Luciani dancing in the locker room and all that stuff. We got to get some footage of that, but be careful. Because you know what? What do I say wins?
Defense.
And what else?
Running the ball.
Does Heights run the ball?
They do.
Does Heights play defense?
They do.
Does Heights have weapons?
Yes, they do.
I think you need to go into Butler a little crazy. Their D coordinator, Coach Bertola, he's a little crazy. He ain't going to be fazed by the blue turf. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
You don't know what he's going to do, right? Coach Sir, we talk about weapons, right? Napolitano, Haynes, Brady Shine, Nip Patel. We can keep going on. Cullen, we can just keep going on. Weapon after weapon after weapon. How do you think? But Butler never loses. Heights could beat this team. Wait, hold on. What'd you say?
Oh my God.
Wait, what'd you say? I know. What's more important, big segment or championship? All right, so I'm going to sacrifice it. Yeah. Coach Luciani, this is the most important thing for us right now is to get this thing done. PJ, how old are you? Okay,
18.
you're 18. You know the last time the New York Knicks won a championship?
I do not.
Okay, 1973.
Yeah,
we weren't born.
We weren't even born.
We weren't born. And we're 50. We weren't born. Yeah. So I got to sacrifice a pick segment because I want to pick Heights. But I'm not going against this guy, and I'm not going against that coach that we just had on that segment because he said we're going to celebrate something special. Give me David Smith. Give me Butler. Give me the blue turf. I'm scared, but this guy's – I'm not going against him. But I'm petrified of this pick.
Oh my God. David, I'm sorry you had to suffer
I'm going
through
Butler.
that.
And where's Michelle been? Where's Michelle? I'm calling out Michelle. What's her last name?
Jones.
Michelle Jones.
One of your teammates, PJ, from last year, Will, you guys probably call him Will Jones. I'm friends with his mom, so Michelle, yeah.
We haven't seen Michelle.
So a text you will get. PJ, thank you so much.
PJ, I just got to say this. You were an unbelievable player, PJ. We always said last year, and we I don't know if you watched, but we kept saying, with a kid like this, get him the ball any way possible, and
just make the big plays.
You're just unbelievable player.
Thank you. I
Best
appreciate
of luck
that.
to you in your season at Rhode Island. We hope it's going well. We truly appreciate your time tonight. We will not keep you any longer, and thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, PJ.
Our pleasure.
I love bringing the guest pickers on, like especially when they're like we had Van Weber, PJ Comedy. Like I love this, right? We had Coach from what's his name from Lyndhurst, John.
Lasella.
Lasella.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's I
it's
love
been,
this.
It's been a nice little.
And then we had the Pausies.
Yep.
One loss.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
One
They
loss.
were our
Pausies.
best guest pickers.
Jen, this was a great show. Jen, like every week's a great show, but I cannot just wait to watch these games this weekend. Like just how this stuff is going to fold out, and then you know, like Coach Twirl said, whoever made this schedule. I mean,
I know,
we sat here and we said, oh, we have
could come
Lyndhurst, then we're
down
gonna,
to,
and then we're like, oh my God, we have this, like every division, it can come down to this weekend.
Yeah.
So I am excited about it. I cannot wait. I know you're gonna always thank.
Well, I do. Before we go, I just want to thank specifically all the coaches and players who joined us this evening, and the coaches for disseminating the information to everybody, for you know, just the communication to make tonight possible. And I know it was a late night, and we really appreciate your time. It's been our pleasure to cover the conference, and we love getting on your players as well and highlighting as many kids, and they work hard every day, and you know, we want to make sure they get the recognition that they deserve. So good luck to everyone playing this
Thank
weekend.
you to our sponsors again.
Thank you again to our sponsors. We appreciate your watching us as well. And tune in next week.
Have a good night.